Why? Why?
Can I take this one first, Todd?
Of course.
2 impeachments didn't do it. Brett Kavanaugh as a marauding rapist didn't do it. Russian collusion hoax didn't do it. Let's just give him the most benefit of the doubt. Being railroaded on COVID didn't do it. You really think that that's going to change people's minds? No.
There was no red wave without him on the ticket. Do the math.
I hate to say this. I think both of you and the reasons you gave are exactly correct. I mean, I was reading a poll today on the drive over here to the Blaze. Guys, 60% of independents in this poll. I only looked at the independent crosstabs. Didn't look at anything else because I think everybody knows. You know, if you're a Democrat, you think that finally, you know, Orange Man bad being brought to justice. If you're, you know, a Republican, you know, I mean, they're trying to stop Cheeto Jesus from saving. I mean, I just wanted to look at people who are at least claiming to be persuadable. Who knows if they're telling the truth or not? Who knows who's telling the truth about hell anything nowadays?
Steve,
60% of independents. Go ahead, Todd.
You mentioned just yesterday, I think, John Adams defending the British Redcoats following the Boston Massacre. Like that does not. We have the opposite, and in spades and on both sides these days. We have all kinds of people, no matter how innocent our political enemies might be. There's a lot of people that would not care and would absolutely not defend him if they were wrongly incarcerated. We don't care.
I completely agree. I completely agree. Alan Dershowitz is only doing this routine because he visited Epstein Island, in my opinion. I don't think that guy has any character at all. I wouldn't want him as an ally. I think this is just an attempt to ingratiate himself, to insulate himself from allegations and all kinds of other things. And so that's why he keeps getting trotted out as like the lone person of the left with legal honesty, because I think he has a vulnerability and therefore has to feign honesty. The rest of them are not going to show any honesty like John Adams whatsoever, Aaron.
Quickly,
this guy stuck his head
we all agree on some
I
level
heard
that in a sane world, that proposition should be correct, even given Trump's numerous...
Just don't put hands or feet or head right in it.
Absolutely.
Let me see what happens.
So freaking obvious. 34 felonies. Okay, let's say he paid off. Let's say he had sex with Stormy Daniels
happening between his ears.
and didn't report it on his campaign disclosure as an in-kind compensation. Remember when I'm the one
Actually,
that told
name
you at the
sounds
time
familiar.
that that's against the law, and other people in my industry said, no, it's not. Well, now here we are. I told
What
you it's
idiots
against
in
the
the
law. It is against the law. Okay, but that's not
That's loud.
34 felonies for that. Come on,
No
man.
comment there.
All right, that's beyond freaking egregious and ridiculous. Okay, if that's what we see when the arraignment is filed, and the charges are formally filed.
I got one of them
today.
too. I'm riding a bicycle right now.
To go
I gotta
back
get
to
a place
this
and vehicle
question.
all over again. But I ain't giving up.
Last year.
You know what I mean?
No.
Gotta start somewhere.
So there was no excuse of Orange Man
Get
bad.
beautiful out.
Don't let the system win.
We've
Nope.
been through hell as a country these last few years.
Beautiful
And
day.
we come out of losing
I can tell
10,000
you
small and
that the
family
hourly wages
businesses,
significantly. Well,
lockdowns,
2013.
record inflation.
Well, it's still
What
significantly
was
better
something
than
like
what it was
a
back then.
180% increase in mortgage rate or mortgage
830
payments per month, or some crazy
$8.50 an hour
number,
then.
right?
Almost
I mean,
twice that
everything
now.
that we've been through. And on top of
All
that,
right.
now, how they groom our kids in public.
That's ready.
I wear the red shirt like Tiger Woods, man. I show up here in Dallas. It's the last time I was here was election night. I'm wearing the red shirt like Tiger Woods. I'm here for the win. I got the Tobo corn. I'm just going to sit back and watch the blue wall crumble on election night. Remember those? Remember that? Remember that? Remember that, guys? I was so confident. Yeah, not so much. So I just have a hard time believing.
Yeah, it seemed like I always found better jobs out of here. That's the reason why I always left.
The same
I worked here a
people
couple
got
months and they noticed
completely
you buy
railroaded
it. So
the
better
last few
opportunities.
years, and then
Like,
turned around and
okay.
voted for nearly every incumbent imaginable.
Yeah, well,
last
a few
November.
months, and then you're ready to get
And
hired
could not
in.
be
They've been
persuaded
hiring
to
in almost
say,
everybody
wow,
as soon as they hit their
Can we at
time,
least
as
get
long
rid
as
of
they
the
show up
people
every day.
tagging our kids in the
What, about
library?
3-4
If we
months?
can stop that, maybe we'll
500
everything
hours,
else.
which
That
about
just
4
seems kind of
months.
an obvious one. Let's get rid of that. suddenly that person,
You want to get you
all
up to
those
60,
things they weren't
18?
moved, but that person's like,
They won't tell me.
damn it, here's this billionaire I couldn't stand.
I've never seen anybody. Well, I've never seen anybody turn it
This is
down.
such
So
an
I'll tell you that.
injustice.
The work is
I'll
not
take
that
that.
hard.
I don't believe that
It's
person
easy.
It's
exists.
monotonous. I get it, but
I've done everything for
They don't
beans,
exist
you know,
in mass
pack
quantity.
the
I
vegetables
just
up
don't
and
believe there's
down,
a
put the
lot of people out
macaroni
there
in.
that care about Donald Trump's
I had to do
surveillance
3
more
people's
than they
jobs
care about
before.
their own children's
And
well-being
that's why
in
they
a
like
public
me.
setting like a
Because I am
school
motivated.
or a library. I just don't. And I know that's not good for business to tell you. It is good for business
I
to,
like it.
you know,
It's
toss this
almost
around to our
constant,
boomer
too, the
audiences
bike
and BS one another
A
and
line
slap
work is
each other,
nice.
only to then get shocked and stunned on election night yet again. I just don't think that's the reality in which we live. That's another reality. Next question. The indictment has clinched the GOP nomination for Donald Trump in 2024.
Fake news, not as fake as the previous statement, but it's still fake news. I mean, the factoids that you shared on the show yesterday seem to indicate that that is not the case. I think even if I had not seen that, or heard that, I would have still said this is still fake news. I think there are a number of people on the right, in a pretty large number, who either could be talked into or are outright ready to move on from Trump.
Speaking of that last election, Ron DeSantis won by 20. So fake news. He's real. If he was not in this race, it'd be a different answer. But he is.
See, I think there's a fundamental problem with this question whether Ron DeSantis, by the way, did you guys see what his week was like? In the last week, constitutional carry, 6-week abortion ban, punched Disney in the balls again, and there was another thing that all that got done, and these were done legislatively, by the way, by statute, right? So it's not just, you know, the next Floridians decide, that's it, can just, you know, get the next Andrew Gillum in there and erase all of his work in 30 minutes. Not going to be that easy. But there's another issue here. And when Tim Pool posted about the gag order and what that could do to limit Trump as a candidate.
Now, I am connected over here. If you get stuck anywhere, just give me a holler and I can click over and see what you're looking at.
In these other areas as well. I mean, I think, you know, like I saw Trump's attorney last night talking, or one of his attorneys last night saying, they won't do a gag order. It'll incense people. I don't think they care about that. In fact, I think they want to incense people. I think they're going to stoke as many January 6th as they possibly can. Okay. The social compact is fundamentally broken here.
Impacting point systems.
I think you need to consider that there are going to be questions
I'm
that
good. How you doing?
we should not be considering. You need to consider, will Donald Trump be permitted to enter enough states necessary to win the delegates to win the nomination?
I think that's our Dearborn office.
Maybe Ron DeSantis decides
handling
not to
that.
run with
You need
everything.
that number?
I don't know. I don't know Ron DeSantis. I don't have like a beeline into into their organization at that level. I don't know. You know, so let's pretend Ron DeSantis isn't even in this race. We're going to be in this race.
254
I mean, what
9048.
What if there are so many states that there's an injunction against him traveling to because he's under so many different criminal or civil proceedings that he can't win enough delegates to win the nomination? You guys see what I'm talking about? I think there are so many things that are on the table right now that maybe we haven't even, frankly, considered. And I had not even considered until I saw the whole gag order thing from Tim Pool last night.
Oh, I agree with that. Being too certain about the lay of the land tomorrow on almost any issue. Again, we don't know what a man or a woman is, so of course.
Yeah, what Todd said.
All right, let's continue on. Number 3. This won't be the only indictment or series of indictments that Trump faces.
True news. It should be fake news, but because Donald Trump decided to self-extradite and not take Ron DeSantis up on the promise to shield him from extradition, it is now indictment season.
True news, of course, unless and until there are consequences. Now, right now, they're talking a big game in the social media world about, no, this is boomerang back. And actually, the guy who's going to end up in jail is Bragg. Show me the money. Until then, of course there's going to be more indictments. Not only for Donald Trump, but because they can do it to him, you too. You're going to jail soon.
And already have. Those are the same people that were convinced that Trump had a secret plan and it was going to be back in the White House like 4 times by now. Yeah, that's not reality either. Number 4. This indictment has weakened all the other potential.
Okay,
it's the exact 180 degrees opposite.
Yep.
This has emboldened all the other potential indictments.
See my last
Whoa.
answer.
Because these aren't legal but political.
Correct.
Right? I mean, a legal analysis would say, so you're claiming that he took classified documents and was showing
How did we even
John
get to that
Daly and
page?
his Slurp brothers these documents. That's a massive.
Did you already set
national
it up?
but
Set up a
the legal hill you want to die on is did he pay hush money to a porn?
Did you already
That's a
give it
legal
a new
argument. Politically, these
email
other
address?
prosecutors are saying,
Or a
hey,
new,
if
I
you
mean,
did
a
this in
new
New York,
password?
I've got a much better case. Guess what I'm going to try to? You've raised the bar of what the persecution I'm going to try to lay down now, right? Is that what you're saying?
It's what you said yesterday. The only thing that matters in America right now is raw political power. Mama says law is as law does. The only laws that matter are the ones that are enforced, regardless of whether they're real or made up. This has emboldened all of those other possible indictments.
No, you put in what you want the password to
They
be.
should learn their lesson from Russiagate.
I mean, don't tell me. I mean, it's your password.
Of course not.
And I didn't even get a chance to finish the loop on that poll that I was reading this morning, by the way. 60% of independents agreed that this was a political prosecution. 62% of independents approved of it, nevertheless.
Yes. That's
and I only am taking this poll seriously because I just lived through this election a few months ago. All kinds of people said, don't teabag my kids, it's a bad idea. Then went out and voted for the teabaggers. So here we are. Number 5. The Democrats are trying to make Trump the nominee.
Of course. True.
See, I'm not.
Why?
I'm out of fake news, actually, on this one. Never underestimate the spirit of the age's willingness and ability to just unleash raw hatred. I think both things can be true. I think they want Donald Trump to be the nominee, and that this indictment is just pure hatred, pure unmitigated hate.
It's certainly both, but this is where, any baseline reading of the math, and again, paying attention to the existence of Ron DeSantis. Of course, they would prefer.
You type two different things, is what it's saying.
DeSantis.
Finally.
Now we'll just resort back to the other one.
Scared they are of
Trump. I'd prefer you had your own.
By their willingness to do anything to stop him.
This is, again, 180 degrees fake news. It's the exact opposite. They are not afraid of him. That's why they are willing to do anything to him.
They were terrified about him when he won. As were people on the right and on the left. And this is where, Steve, when you said...
We can change it later.
Heck,
get you through this.
We didn't know what to make out of him, but once you realized how much paper tiger was there, everybody realized how he could be manipulated, and he was. That's why you have Trump before COVID and Trump after COVID. Now, it takes some damn evil people to do what they did to this country.
It is. They're trying to get away from more and more of the paper. Just make sure you answer yes to all those questions.
They're scared of more of the precedent of what he could be. People like him could be going forward. But the man, the individual Donald Trump, no, they just need not to have more Donald Trumps, more people outside of the system who won't play the game.
24 hours
Next.
from now.
Skip that. Just hit
Final
next.
question. This one's off the board for each of you. 24 hours from now, what do you think?
There you go. Update that.
We're going to learn that we don't know.
I already updated your cell number, but make sure you put it in the email.
We don't know right now. Once we start seeing it, when the actual court filings themselves are made public.
Make sure the address is updated.
My gut is nothing. I do think that there is no depths.
You have the address at Oaks?
Corruption and sleaziness of this DA.
Okay,
so
I have it written down for folks that are staying.
Added charge of trying to intimidate a jury or something like that. I don't know what the actual statute or law is in Brooklyn or Manhattan, I should say. So I think that's a possibility, but I'm not really sure we'll know anything.
Unless it's like Trump reading the names from Epstein Island when he does his little presser, it's not going to be anything.
By the way, Trump got 12% of the vote in Manhattan in 2020. 12. That's the jury pool they'll be selecting from, right there. Hour 2 is next. All right, we're back here with Hour 2, live and on demand on Blaze TV, radio, and podcast. Don't forget, you can let us know what you think about what we think. You can email the show, steve@stevedeace.com. That's DEACE. Like us on Facebook, MeWe, and Gab. You can also follow me at Steve Deace Show on Twitter, Getter, Instagram, and TikTok, because the Chinese don't yet even know enough about me. So I want them to learn even more. All right, at Steve Deace Show. And it's
This is Michigan Constitutional Crusader out here, Grand Rapids, Michigan, with Spanky Pants and Tater Top Press. Doing a little city walkabout. Yeah.
Good. Yep. All right, we're gonna skip a couple parts here too. It's not that you don't have it; it's just we don't need it. So save you some time on here. All right. On this one here, just pick the things that you have skills in, and then which shift availability you have.
Baking company. Oh, cool. You got any goodies in there? Yeah, right there in the
Here too,
cabinet.
Schmender.
There. Look at them goodies, guys. Yeah.
Tomato watch here too.
Carrot. Oh, carrot cake. I love carrot cake. Yeah. A real carrot cake blondie. That's a little racist. Right. Cool.
Ooh.
I don't know. Here comes somebody. Silence.
We're just curious as to what you're doing.
Chocolate raspberry coconut bar. Looks like they're all donuts. Rookie. Oh, there's some lemon mixed berry toffee. Oh. Mistress cupcake. Cinnamon rolls. That's pretty awesome. Apple fritters. Oh, there's more over there, isn't there? Raspberry and blueberry lemon. Apple fritters. Yeah, apple fritters. You got apple fritters.
Just hit the top drop down and say no. Where it says please select. No, takes all that away.
You guys have a reason for this, we're more than willing to answer any questions or anything like that.
Veg
Yeah.
out, winter drink menu, winter food menu, maple. Listen, you just said they're auditors. Why the hell you bothering us then? Right. I'm just reading what they got in there without coming in. What's wrong with that? Huh?
Yeah, it's us. So yes.
Not really, no. Cool. Definitely not. No. Who are the people with the kids over there? They're staring at us. Easter brunch.
Click it.
Saturday, April 8th.
Click that button.
With coffee. There's the QR code. Reserve your seat now at Easter Brunch Square. Right? We'll scan the code. Vote for best vegan bakery in the USA. Oh, vegan. That explains everything.
Yeah.
Right? Absolutely explains that. Gotta read the drinks they got there. They got a lot of them. Espresso, Americano, batch brew, cortado, cappuccino. Oh, look, Kim back. Oh, cool. From behind the counter. Awesome. With a grin. Syrup, mocha, meal, hot chocolate. That's a scary grin he's got. Look at that fur on his face. Little peach fuzz all over his nose there. Oh yeah. Can't even grow a real mustache. Oh yeah. Well, I don't know about that. Oh, there's another cat back. I mean, oh yeah, I didn't even see that one. Yeah, another cam back. Oh, isn't that special? We're number one. Oops.
I hate it when that happens.
Weird people, man. Mm-hmm. People are weird. Yeah, we're in Grand Rapids.
Yeah. So I forgot to check my video.
Oh, cool.
Some old ones right there.
Yep, that they are.
Yeah, that's good.
Anything else over here?
Okay, now I'm gonna load some forms and we're gonna log back in and fill those out. Just give me a second.
There's their actual bake shop back there. That's their actual bake shop back there. Yeah. Exactly. Very. Oh, the one inside the bake shop did a cam back too. The one inside the bake shop did a cam back too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. She's tripping out in there.
Here you go. Start going through these. They just require that you check the box on the top and bottom to sign as you're going through it and reading it.
Oh, they're both tripping out in there.
They feel like a rat in a cage, people.
Despite on my rain, I'm still just a rat in a cage, right? It's a mirrored tint on a glass house, yeah.
That's right. Go.
That lady's still just staring at us.
Yeah. Tripping balls.
It's hilarious. Ain't nothing down there. It was.
Don't shop here, guys. Don't shop here. They
Whoa.
don't like camping, guys. Don't shop here.
Next. There you go. It takes it a second. Those complete computers are kind of slow, so just one click is normally all it takes. It just responds slowly.
That's what makes it work, right?
Yep, last name is Dianine. There's his last name. Yep.
From near Parker's Corner to Brummett to near Alzheimer, moving east at 60 miles per hour. Hazard, 60 miles per hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. Source, radar indicated.
Oops.
you. I told you, step away from the car. And what I'm telling you is there's no need to get there because I'm not a threat to you. All I'm doing is taking pictures.
Because you actually stepped back, and I appreciate that.
All I'm doing is taking pictures. That's because you was too close and I could smell your breath. I know you. And I didn't want you to smell mine.
I know you were taking pictures.
Right. So there should be no problem. What if I was praying right there? You're gonna kick me and say, "Yo, stop praying here."
Of course not.
You're praying too close to the car.
Why would I tell you that?
All right then. All right then. Why? Because it's protected.
We would probably ask you to do it from a safer distance.
Why? Because it's protected under the First Amendment, right?
Of course it is.
So is freedom of the press.
Yes, we
it's the same as me praying right there next to your car. You're not gonna be like, yo, you're praying too close to our car. For our safety, you mind praying down the block or something? No, you're not gonna say that. You're gonna respect my religion, right?
The fact of the matter is, you're reporting, not praying. All right.
We told you.
It is protected under the same amendment, but it's very different. Okay.
They're protected rights under the First Amendment.
But you weren't praying, you were reporting, all right? We came up to you because we thought you needed something. You don't need anything.
You think there's a difference between me praying and me recording?
It's protected under the
Okay, John.
Right. It should be protected by you.
It's protected by all law enforcement officers.
All right, then.
But you weren't praying, you were recording. We haven't told you.
If you're not going to... Repeating, a severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Michigan.
For the following counties.
I'm not saying what if. I'm saying if you wouldn't threaten to use force, then why would you threaten to use force? They're all covered under the First Amendment.
Why would I threaten to use force against that?
All right, then. So why would you threaten to use force against me recording, exercising freedom of the press? You just go around punching photographers in the face?
I didn't punch anybody in the face.
I'm saying that's what it seems like.
That's not what it
if you could punch me in the face and get away with it, I guarantee you would have punched me in the face. Both of you probably would have jumped me.
That's not right.
If you could, you would.
No, I'm not.
I'd put $5.
No,
I'd put 20 push-ups.
Okay.
You wouldn't?
I have no desire to. You haven't even. Why would
I see it in your face. I see it. You wanted to punch me in the face.
No.
He said, "I wish we didn't have body cams. I would have beat the shit out of this kid." Just because he's recording us, he's too close.
We haven't said anything about your recording.
I'm expressing. All right, so I'm just waiting for you to apologize.
Apologize about what?
Threatening to use force on me. Your job isn't to use force on a law-abiding citizen.
But if I ask you to
your job
away,
isn't to use force on a law-abiding citizen. That's not your job. You can tell me.
All right.
But it's not a lawful order. I don't have to obey it.
I could ask you.
That's like you telling me, yo, let me fuck your wife. You gotta let me fuck your wife because I'm a cop.
Have a good day, right?
You understand?
No, I don't understand.
It's not a lawful order. There's no law behind what you're saying. If that's the case, I would have been detained and arrested. If there was a law behind it. If there was a law you was enforcing, I would have been detained. But I'm not detained because I'm not breaking any laws.
Okay.
Understand?
Yep.
You guys
okay.
have a good day, all right? Don't beat nobody up, all right?
Yeah, we gotta close
Yeah, click OK. If you're not up here, for some reason, this is one of the reasons why we have to put the NDA here. There has to be some of these blanks, even if there's no info.
Don't hurt nobody, all right?
I don't know why. It's just this form that does that. The bottom is for me to fill out.
What they doing on Ocean? It's crazy. Have a great day. Have the day you deserve. So sad.
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Indiana.
It's annoying.
The National Weather Service in Indianapolis has...
Oh, just went under a tornado watch, not a warning yet, but it's a watch.
Northwestern Delaware County, Eastern Howard County.
Okay, so the new federal tax form is kind of screwy.
1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time.
That looks good.
12:28 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Severe thunderstorms were located.
Now, do you just claim yourself, or do you have some dependents that you claim?
6 miles north of Georgetown, moving east at 50
You don't do anything here.
Expected hazards
go to the bottom.
60
Now,
miles per hour wind gusts.
the state one.
This is a radar indicated threat.
Yes. No,
The
you don't
following
need.
texts are expected.
You don't need your license number, and you just put a 0 there.
Entries. Severe thunderstorms will
The
be
cursor's already there. Just
around
type 0.
12:45 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time.
I'll do it.
Other locations in the path of these severe thunderstorms include Frankton, Alexandria, Orestes, and Summitville. This includes Interstate 69 between mile
Okay, where this says pending review, that just means I have to do my portion of it. So you're done on the computer.
A tornado watch
Log
remains
you
in
out.
effect until 5 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time.
All right, front and back on these pages, there's some pens over there. Signed consents to where if we do put you in a position that requires a background or anything like that, we can run it. And then the drug screen is just a consent for one. We don't need it to get you started, but if we ever, think that you're intoxicated on the job or anything like that, we gotta. Or if you get hurt. 4-5 today.
This is NOAA All Hazards Radio KEC 74 in Indianapolis. The National Weather Service in Indianapolis has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for southern Madison County, southeastern Boone County, Hamilton County until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. At 12:24 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from 9 miles southwest of Tipton to near Zionsville.
Yeah, front and back and all those.
Yeah. Expected hazards include 60 miles per hour wind gusts. This is a radar-indicated threat. The following impacts are expected. Expect damage to roofs, siding, and trees. Severe thunderstorms will be near Noblesville, Cicero, and Morse Reservoir around 12:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time.
Down here.
Arcadia and Atlanta around 12:35 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Carmel and Westfield around 12:40 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Other locations in the path of these severe thunderstorms include Fishers, Frankton, Lapel, Pendleton, Niles, Edgewood, and River Forest. This includes the following highways: Interstate 65 between mile markers 129 and 132. Interstate 69 between mile markers 204 and 221. A tornado watch remains in effect until 5 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time for central Indiana. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. Repeating, a severe thunderstorm warning has been issued until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time for the following counties in Indiana: Boone, Hamilton, and Madison. The National Weather Service in Indianapolis has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for northern Madison County, northwestern Delaware County, eastern Howard County, northeastern Hamilton County, Tipton County, until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. At 12:28 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from near Swansea to 6 miles north of Georgetown, moving east at 50 miles per hour. Expected hazards include 60 miles per hour wind gusts. This is a radar-indicated threat. The following impacts are expected.
The old English golf courses were the best.
And trees.
They made natural prairies and stuff.
p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Other locations in the path of these severe thunderstorms include.
They literally throw them in a cell because they're nuts. Well, then you have probably considerable protests, number one. And you have to explain to the American people, because simply being charged even with a felony doesn't keep you from running for office. Then you got to explain to the American people how you're having a fair election. And potentially, if that's prior to the GOP primaries culminating in their eventual candidate, how a person operating in the primary system can effectively be shut out of the race despite being front runner. It would destroy the Republicans if that happens. By the way, that might be the plan. The plan might be to try to.
Yeah, I brought up that other one because I didn't see that if you were streaming. I'll double check.
In the primary process, thus angering enough Republicans to handicap their potential candidate. Let's say DeSantis really is squeaky clean. I would expect them to indict Trump in order to try to get a crippled DeSantis in there who can't win. That might be what they're going with. It might be shenanigans upon shenanigans at the moment. But
he's not streaming right now.
No clue what the fuck happens next because we've never done this before as a country. It's probably not going to be.
Okay. Second. All right, good. So this last portion, this is your little handbook. Now the times are actually, it says midnight, but it's actually till 2 a.m. because they tried out an 8-hour shift on second, it didn't work out. I already fixed it. Okay, good. Just a copy of that one you signed in the back there. So that's yours. The handbook goes over the food safety portions of it, the color coding and scoops and stuff like that. You get to keep that. Now you use that to fill this out. This we keep on file for the Food and Drug Administration. This is loud. Hang on.
And not only do they produce
Okay, so under signature register, you're just going to print, sign, and initial just that top line. This is just an acknowledgement that you've received a copy of the handbook, that you've received a copy of the handbook, and that you're going to follow the rules. Where it says employee, you print, sign, and date. I do the bottom here where it says training. Read these rules, sign, date, print initials. I do the bottom where it says training, and then there's some multiple choice questions, okay? The answers are in there, but if you can't find it, just ask me. I'm going to tell you what it is, all right? I'll make sure you understand it. If you miss anything, I just got to go over it with you.
Produce cocaine right there, you're going to the penitentiary. Do not pass go, not collect $200. You're going straight to the bars. Okay, you can be having your tin cup, banging them on the bars. You're not going to be able to do what they do. Now, there's an article we're going to get through.
Signature register, I signed this for first.
Yeah, just the line, just print, and just what it says, yeah.
Without my commentary and interruption, the link has always
print, sign, and initials. It's just a signature register because you sign off on production tickets and stuff like that. They want to be able to match it if they need to go back.
Let's get into it. You see the headline: New Jersey chemical plant manufactures $2 billion worth of cocaine on behalf of Coca-Cola. So there's an actual plant you can go to where it's right there. It's all good. All right. A discrete chemical plant in Maywood, New Jersey, has a special license. They have a license to import coca leaves on behalf of Coca-Cola. The Maywood
well, they're used in medicine.
Managed by the Steppen Company, and is the only company to have a license from the DEA to import coca leaves, which is the plant used to make cocaine. Now, I want to pause right here. You can do a lot of things in this country as long as you got money, right? You want a fully automatic weapon? All right, pay the federal government. You straight. Pay for a tax stamp. Now, of course, they're going to watch it. They're going to know where it is, but do they really know where it is? Are they going to put a GPS tracker on it? I'm not really sure, but different story. Anyway, yeah, you can get a fully automatic. You can get a lot of different things as long as you pony up that money, okay? Anyway, the New York Post reported the imported coca leaves are decocainized, if that's a word or a thing, and later put into Coca-Cola as an ingredient. So, you know the whole thing that I guess it was a myth, or it was a long time ago they put cocaine in Coca-Cola. Well, you are drinking the byproduct of coca leaves in your Coca-Cola. It's just not it's not cocainized, as they say. Okay, it's not gonna have you hyper. Well, the caffeine will. Well, different story. I digress. Anyway, so you don't have to worry about failing a drug test after drinking the Coke. Of course not. All the leftover byproduct, however, which has a value of close to $2 billion, is then sold to an opioid manufacturing company called Malin Croct. I have no idea. Y'all correct me on the pronunciation. But yeah, so it's not only about just the taste. It's not just about that. It's like, hey man, we got to get these leaves in here because, you know, we got to be able to make sure that the product tastes the same way that it tasted back in the day when we could put the cocaine all the way in it. It's not just about that. It's also about the byproduct they sell for $2 billion. Now, of course, they wouldn't be able to continue keeping that revenue afloat. And the federales want to keep taxing the revenue. So it's all good when they do it. It's a problem when you do it. Keep on going. So yeah, like here's a little quick caption. Coca-Cola produces as much as $2 billion worth of pure cocaine every year in a secretive New Jersey factory, all thanks to its iconic recipe and a very special arrangement with the DEA. All right, it is all good. So here's a little excerpt from the Daily Mail. Chemical company hitting in New Jersey neighborhood as an exclusive license to import coca leaves to the U.S., etc. Um, that's pretty much it. So operates under special licenses issued to it by the DEA and is the only company in the U.S. permitted to import coca leaves and manufacture cocaine. So they have a legal license to produce cocaine. They have a license to do it. Now, again, you do that, something like that in your living room, do that in your grandmama's basement, all y'all going to jail. Okay, the ATF going to be boot on your door right away. Okay, the federals going to come to your door for a bump stock, or okay, your barrel or your rifle is too short. But again, if you pay the government some money, then all of a sudden the bump stop thing is not even the problem. You can have a fully automatic weapon. If you pay the federal government, all of a sudden your 10-inch carbine with the stock on the back is totally fine. It's only about when you don't pay. It's like the whole thing with weed and stuff like that. Now, don't get it twisted. I'm no advocate of drugs at all. I know what drugs do to people and communities. I'm only speaking about hypocritical nature of the federal government. They want to ban certain things and deny certain things from the American people only when they can't pay for it. And they're going to
Right,
continue
dirty.
that type of rhetoric when it comes to gun control all the way around. They want to have tighter restrictions on guns in the federal government,
Ryan must be
but at the
exhausted.
same time, the money exception will still be there. Okay, you can't buy AR-15 in the gun store. You can't buy some automatic weapon, but if you got that money, get whatever you want. That's how it goes in America, unfortunately. Okay, so here's something else. U.S. pharmacist, a pharmacist invented Coca-Cola. Very interesting. In 1886, first Coca-Cola contained cocaine at about 9 milligrams per glass, which was removed from the drink in 1903. Eventually, he sold his business for two.
With Russell Brand, we are a little bit late because we have been swimming in a deluge of propaganda. Trump's trial awaits us. His speech from Mar-a-Lago has been delivered. We can now unpack the 34 charges and decide for ourselves whether they are misdemeanors or felonies and how they stand up against the great war crimes of recent history. We're going to be having a deep look at how the crimes of Trump stack up against the crimes of Biden, Obama, Bush, and Clinton, and what laws we uphold. What are our true values? And in a sense, how this spellbinding, hypnotic show is distracting us from deep, deep truths. We've got a fantastic guest coming up. We've got Adam Andrzejewski. What's amazing about this guy is he spends all his time bothering people that have access to, I would say, files of incredible corruption and revealing them to us. So first of all, let's have a look at Donald Trump ignoring the mainstream media's pleas for a quote, and then look at a virtual child getting an exclusive. Have a look.
President Trump, will you come speak to us? President Trump?
Trump then walking out of court without a word.
How did you plead, President Trump? How did you plead?
There you go, the mainstream media unable to get Donald Trump's attention. You'll have noticed that every single detail is being amplified and magnified, essentially because there's very little to look at in reality. But now we live in a world where Jar Sosa 25 is able to extract an exclusive on the street. Check this out.
Trump, tell him you innocent, bro. Not a prosecution, it's a person. You innocent. I'll remember that, bro.
Amazing. It's a persecution, not a prosecution. In a way that I think you can see right there, Gareth, not in microcosm, but in that opposition, the problem that we have now, that the mainstream media once had sole access to information. Now we all have access to information as well as the ability to communicate it. So what the mainstream media now requires is either authority and legitimacy, which it can no longer make claim to because of the way that it is funded, because of its biases. So now what it needs is to be able to delegitimize the opposition. The fact is that a kid on the street has extracted more information from Donald Trump than MSNBC, than CNN. And so in a way, the theatre and the performance of media has become more valid than its actual access to facts.
Yeah, I think one of the things that the mainstream media were really excited about with this case was that obviously cameras weren't allowed inside the courtroom. And so one of the comments, I think Robert Sherman, who's coming up later, was really excited. And a piece that we were looking at of his yesterday where he was saying, you know, it's like the old days, it's because people can't use social media inside the courtroom, they're going to have to come straight out and report to the mainstream media. So this was a chance for the mainstream media to get it back, to get their power back. But as we see in this case, they tried and failed with Trump, and a kid on the street using social media has got more access. It's amazing.
It's extraordinary, really. I guess that's what we're living in. Centralized authority is being continually challenged. They have the opportunity to revise their models and accept more democracy, accept more decentralization, accept that there are different ways of reporting, different ways of seeing reality, or double down on authoritarianism by condemning and smearing peripheral figures, whether they are in media or in politics. Their legitimacy is, I think, being not only eroded, but almost completely vanquished. When you see them criticizing and condemning Russia for the arrest using the Espionage Act of that Wall Street Journal journalist, while Assange remains in prison in Belmarsh, you recognize that the hypocrisy is so pronounced that there's barely anything that you can trust them on. Let's have a look. They're giving, they must know that putting Trump in this position gives him the opportunity to do stuff like this. And I think about this often. I think that if you are a sort of one of the virulently anti-Trump folk that really are passionate about your hatred of Trump, that see him as like the epitome of the problem, I wonder how you feel when you watch him at Mar-a-Lago and he is able to say there was the first impeachment hoax, there was the Hunter Biden laptop thing, there was the attempt to ally me with Russian disinformation. I wonder how they process that. I wonder how they are able to say, no, Biden is significantly different in these ways. I don't know how you can legitimize your condemnation anymore, other than in the sort of vulgarity of Trump, say. Because I'm talking about how they condemn and criticize.
Interesting what you're saying about the Hunter Biden, because obviously that was broken on Twitter, wasn't it? And then repressed on Twitter. And it's interesting at the moment with all the mainstream reaction to Trump. And of course, we saw Matt Taibbi recently in Congress.
Yeah.
And this issue of kind of mainstream versus social media or independent journalism is really playing out.
The data sheets are actually in the break room.
The way in which the mainstream media focus on such minutiae, like whether or not Donald Trump stares in
the blue brush question is kind of a trick question. Everybody misses that. The blush is for the machine. Blue brush is for the machine, but the conveyor is a food
of independent journalists like Matt Taibbi, and you really feel that that's where truth is coming from now. Independent journalism, even through like social media. And we're seeing it play out in front of us.
It's the whole routine. Remove glove, wash your hands, everything.
Let's focus on the minutiae.
You're right.
All right, man. When do you want to get started?
Question the credibility of a journalist like Matt Taibbi.
Okay, you got boots already?
Say on the mainstream
steel toes?
they try to sort of
you have steel toes? They have to be steel toes.
Analysis
what size do you wear?
angle of Donald Trump's head in a courtroom. Oh, he's looking this way.
What size it? I just had somebody pay me some money to go out and buy some, but of course those weren't available. That's the same size I wear.
That's what they can offer now.
Oh, if you're at Oaks, do you have a food card?
Here's Trump.
Not yet.
Sacred Mar-a-Lago.
Because we gotta have them. They won't let you work.
Well, I get some money.
Mar-a-Lago is if it's like a new Jerusalem. They even came.
You want to go ahead and get some?
No,
that's what I meant. So you'd be able to start Monday then, for sure.
I can confirm now.
What shift do you want?
What it actually means. Let's have a look at a series of clips.
Whichever one you want. I mean, whichever the one you're going to be able to make it to every day. That's the one I want you to go to.
The sacred Mar-a-Lago. Let's have a look.
The only crime that I have committed is to fearlessly defend our nation from those who seek to destroy it.
Okay. Anything changes between now and then, just give me a shout. We can readjust it.
Yeah, I got to check. I worked like last week, temporary service works 2 weeks, but I love checking.
Okay, yeah.
I go.
I think best place is like Meijer or Walmart. Yeah. I found a nice deal at Meijer. They were like $41.
Steel toe boots. When you wear them work, or you gotta wear them. You gotta keep clean. We're inside
they prefer that you change into them at work, but
they'll bring them brand new.
Well, they don't have to be. I mean, I would break them in if you're gonna, especially if you're gonna be on them for 10 hours. You know? They prefer that you can wear them around, but when you come into work, just make sure you're carrying them in. All right.
So that'd be 410.
Yep. Easter Monday, I guess. According to this calendar, I've never heard of Easter Monday.
I don't actually know. I can't, like, when you see them, is it a golf course? Is it like a hotel. I still don't fully. I want to go. All I know is I want to go Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah,
That's
I bet it's fully booked.
Okay,
For the amount of press it's getting
In the morning?
these days.
Gosh,
Yep, 5 a.m.
5 a.m.
You know where it's at, right? Over there on Telegraph?
Yeah, Telegraph.
Sleep in a janitor's
All right, I'll let them know you'll be there.
I'll be there.
closet.
I'll double check with you probably,
Again,
well,
if you
tomorrow's
don't
Thursday,
like
tomorrow,
Trump, I know loads of you absolutely
just to make sure
adore
everything's
him.
still
But if you
the
don't, I
way
wonder
the
how
way we
you
planned,
deal
okay?
with the Hunter
All right,
Biden
super.
laptop thing. I wonder
Well,
how
good luck.
you deal with
If you need anything,
state
wait.
stuff, like the Clinton administration spent
Do you have
campaign,
anywhere you want it to be direct
like,
deposited,
where
or
we
do you
go
want to use
later,
one of the
when
pay cards?
we're going to analyze this with a little more depth in a minute. We start talking about how successive
Just telling the wife to go close the windows in the house because they left them open for the dogs today.
Government
It's about to dump on us.
facing trial for war crimes. So even if you feel like this is a super serious thing and that Donald Trump should be like banged up for misappropriation of campaign
You won't be able to
funds,
activate that until your first
keeping
deposit.
or hush money to Stormzy Daniels, like how do you compare that with war crimes? We're going to look at that in some depth in a moment. Let's have a look at a bit more Mar-a-Lago stuff.
Just recently, the FBI and
Starting Monday, your first check wouldn't be till the next Friday, so the first check will be the
not to say anything
21st.
bad about the Hunter Biden
But
laptop
it'll be a full one. Work the whole week.
which exposes the Biden
We
family
won't work 50 hours a week.
according
Well, it's
to
40, it's
pollsters,
4 days right now, but
17
as they're getting busier, they're probably gonna start adding some more.
in the election result.
All right.
And we needed a lot less than that, like about 16.9.
Is that all for now?
Yep.
All right.
If you need anything, man, just reach out to me. Best thing to do is to text the office number. As soon as you see how crazy it gets sometimes here. Just send me a text, and as soon as I'm able to, I'll reply to you, okay? All right, man, good luck.
Significant points that seem more important than the amplification of a misdemeanor to a felony. When he talks too about bringing the world to the brink of
That's why when I buy them, I usually buy Red Wings.
What are our priorities?
Resold them for free.
Look at some of the charges in a little more detail. So we
Back
can
when I did
try and get a handle
cable
on this
service
thing.
work.
So the 34 charges hinge on hush money payments the former president allegedly made to porn actress Stormy Daniels. Yet paying hush money to prevent publication of an adulterous sexual encounter is not a crime. Alexander Hamilton did it. Wow, he's got a whole musical about him. Yep. So did thousands of other high-profile Americans. None of them ever disclosed such payments on public corporate records. Okay, so that in itself is not distinct. In order to turn a questionable misdemeanor into an even more questionable felony, Bragg has had to allege that the reason Trump made false entries was to cover.
Oh yeah, give him a call. It's supposed to be lifetime.
Is at its weakest. Although the indictment itself does not specify which crimes were allegedly in Trump's mind, the statement of facts indicates that they generally related to election issues. But if it's that, then there's still
Howdy.
Russia Gate.
All right, man, have a seat.
Hunter Biden
Finished
laptop.
that young man.
They
Go on
exist in
just
the
a second.
general environment. They're kind of comparable cases of like the use of funds or trying to manage the outcome of an election. It's not distinct or discreet enough. The theory is that Trump hid the real reason for the hush money payments.
Did we speak already, or did you just see the sign?
To hide the
What's your name? Okay, I remember talking.
It's weak at best.
Yep.
Nearly impossible.
Yep, because I knew he'd be here around noon, so it'd be done just in time for you.
Okay, sort of.
Have you worked with us
really
before?
Enough distinction, but have a deeper look at this.
You
If you're
staying
watching us on
in
YouTube
Monroe now?
Click over onto watching us on Rumble, because we're going to look at this with in a little more detail, comparing it not just to sort of other potentially frivolous or necessarily amplified misdemeanors, but to the most.
A lot of times folks have worked with us and they don't even realize that they're in our system, so I always check.
War
This changes how we log into the system.
Vladimir
How are you on the computer?
But is it a charge that could be leveled?
Doesn't matter.
At recent? A little bit.
Okay, well, it's fine. What I do is I connect to it for you.
Oh yeah, I do basic stuff.
Yeah, it's just the part as we
Finally happened.
Historic,
Yeah.
unprecedented
Yeah, I work
charges.
with them.
Okay, so you'll be in the system then.
Landed. Do they justify the?
Yeah, our records go back 23 years,
What
so.
Trump has done any worse than other
I didn't know
former
because like
presidents of the
Express
United States?
up here, you gotta, if you work up here, you want to work in Toledo, you gotta go
Before we
down.
get into my
Each
perspective, let's
individual
see how the
Express down there, you
mainstream
got.
media are telling
You got one
you
on
this
Lexus.
story.
Oh yeah, they're all over the place.
If you want a job over here, you gotta go to airport highway.
Yeah, it's more of a chain type. This is still quote unquote family owned business. We do have quite a few offices in other states, but it's literally those were all recently acquired. But yeah, my boss has been my same boss for the last 10 years. So they let us work our different offices. I mean, this is probably the shabbiest looking office we have, but hey, I don't mind it. The rent's cheap. Basement of a 160-year-old building.
Magnification of this case is actually serving entrenched systemic power.
The job is to get other people jobs, and that's it. It doesn't matter how nice they are.
Compared to what other presidents have done.
Do a good job doing that, it doesn't matter.
Criminality. So again, just for you, some of you really love Donald Trump, and I'm okay with that. Some of you really.
So you stayed down in Toledo for a while?
What I'm interested in is systems. What I'm really interested in
recently,
is change, real change.
You talked to Heather in one of our offices.
Genuine conversation and the opportunity for people who hate Trump and love Trump.
Did you work at Electroprime?
Our systems are not working.
How'd that go?
Our media is lying to us. Trials like this are being used as mass distractions. Huge amounts of money being conveyed to the military-industrial complex. Finland's joining NATO.
Well, you know what? It looks like you left right before we took over. We took over for Adeco there completely. I know we were just sending you to Adeco or through Adeco. Now we are the Adeco there. So it's changed quite a bit. But still, it's up. It's down there in Europe here. So let's get you something up here.
Talk about the nature of it. He waved his fist, giving a wave.
Well, we can get things together. You got steel toes? All right. You got white t-shirts? I know you got jeans on.
As his motorcade made its way downtown, sources tell ABC News that
Let me
Secret
see.
Service detail the former president
You never
rode
even
alone.
ended your assignment.
No lawyers, no family,
I'd like to
no
find, let me do that real quick. That was 12:30.
Where's my check?
Huh?
Where's my check? Pro-Trump channel.
No. Well, no, you got it. They only pay you for the hours that you work. So
Farts to pump himself full of
your last check was
power for the arraignment.
12:30.
You now know about
December 30th.
and care about. So the inflections, even around the
I never gig anybody for not having a good time there.
the
Because believe me,
media outlet
I have.
wants us
That's
to
the reason why I open my office later now
see.
here.
It shows you something
Is because at night I have to welcome the third shift people out there.
There is something underneath it, and what I believe that is
I know what you're talking
Trump's
about.
success
Believe
is
me.
always based on.
I worked in
All of
Magna
us
for about a
know
month.
the system is broken and it
Uh-huh.
doesn't work. All of us can see
Okay.
that
And I
Biden
had
was
to
elected on
do
a
like
set
an
of pledges
audit
and
every hour.
promises
Okay.
he wasn't delivered on. I know loads of you that are
You do get
political
Mike,
experts.
because he's been
Well,
there
hang
10
on a
years.
minute,
And
he did that
didn't
big
want to
pharma
do
thing.
his
Yeah,
job
that's
the way
not
he's
really
supposed
made a
to.
difference. It's only a few
My
for
boss
that.
is telling
It's
me to
not gonna
make
affect
sure
their
they do
profits.
it.
Oh, didn't
Right.
he
So he ended up
release
telling my
everyone
boss
through
that
his
I
kind
was
of, that's not
fraternizing
made
with
any
his
difference.
women.
There was no one in
And
federal
got
prison.
kicked out of it. Really
All of the
opposite.
administration, all of
That's
the
some stupid shit
legislation,
there.
it gives the impression of change without
All right.
affecting.
Well, you're not going to get that here, man.
power. What
I'm about the easiest going person you can work for, okay? Now, I'm not going to be your supervisor, obviously, out on the line, but I can tell you what, there's a reason why I've been hiring for these people for a while, because
My personal belief
they treat
is
the people
that Donald
decent.
Trump is not able to.
They don't pay quite as much as Electroprime, especially on the later shift, but
I also
once you
believe
get hired
these
in,
charges are ultimately a way of removing him from the presidential candidacy. I believe that.
yeah, it's close. Depending on the shift you want to work. There's two shifts. There's a first shift. They're 10-hour shifts. First shift is 5 a.m. to 3:30. Second shift is 3:30 p.m. to 2 a.m. Second shift does pay $1 more for the differential. Starting rate at first is 14. Second is 15.
Approaching
All
criminal
right.
court in Lower
All
Manhattan.
right, we'll get rolling. Let me scan these and give them right back to you.
Seems so
All right.
surreal.
Like
Wow,
you didn't even
they're
upload
going
it
to
when I
arrest
turned it
me.
up there.
That's such a weird diary. This is part of Trump's
I was hoping
success.
that would already be on your
It is
file.
like-
It should have
that's
been,
the stuff
actually.
all of
Now
us
I'm
read
going to
on
have to yell at
WhatsApp
somebody at
messages
our
to one
Toledo
another.
office.
Can't believe I'm actually going to jail now.
That's
It's gonna
okay.
get the old fist ready for the
They're
fist
used to me
bump.
yelling at them and then just going, okay.
Accesses us at the point
Right.
of the personal. I believe that's where he has managed to harness all of this energy. If you are a pro-Trump person, then you can ask yourself what he did in office that was better than any of his predecessors. And I know you perhaps you'll point to the record around not starting any new wars, for example. But what I will say is try to focus on systemic corruption rather than the individuals. That's what I'm trying to do, because I find this exciting as well, because it's a circus, because I've been grown on it. I've been schooled in these images. I watched the OJ trial. I saw the assassination of JFK. I understand the semiotics of shooting a motorcade from the sky. I know that it's evocative and powerful, but really try to think about it for a moment. We're on Earth. There are limited resources. There are systems of power that seem unimpeded in this democratic process. What are we going to do?
Outside court, small groups of supporters and opponents. Police keeping the peace as the former president arrived.
It's weird because like seeing that I love Trump, I believe Stormy Daniels is being reduced to a kind of a binary sport. It's not that. And even if it is that, let's say it is that in fact, that shows you that that's not going to create solutions. That's just more fanfare, more hyperbole, more hysteria. What we have to focus on is what's happening down here. What's happening politically? How are these parties funded? How is democracy functioning? And while we settle for reform on one hand, like minor reforms, oh, we got this healthcare thing through, or things are going to get slightly better over here. Powerful institutions and powerful interests are carrying on unimpeded. I mean that literally. Right now, your homes are being taken over by Blackstone. Assange remains in prison. Finland joined NATO. Huge amounts of money funneling to an unwinnable war. Let's face it, Russia versus America, no one wins.
Inside, Trump surrendered. He was arrested, booked, and processed like a common criminal.
Like a common criminal, which we on this channel believe him to be. Let's look over now at Fox. A martyr like Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King, or even, actually, yes, I'm going to say this, Jesus.
Jesus was arrested and murdered.
What's amazing about that is that the reporter just goes, instead of Jesus?
Trump was taken upstairs in an elevator usually reserved for judges. Stone-faced officers. Stone-faced officers.
That's telling you nothing is happening because every minor detail is being amplified. Imagine if they reported on Julian Assange like this. Julian Assange still in prison, didn't do anything wrong. Snowden still exiled in Russia, just was basically a hero. So again, don't get caught up in whether you like or hate Trump. I'm sorry to tell you, that's actually irrelevant. Whether you loathe Trump or love Trump, you are doing what
You remember
he
your
wants you to do because you're caught up
login
in the cyclone
password
of this instead of thinking,
when you did the computer
how
stuff.
do we change it?
I'll reset it.
President Trump,
We'll help you with it.
will you come speak to us? President Trump?
Yeah, he's just going to break off from that and have a casual
Most people
chat.
don't, so don't worry about it.
What's going on?
You use it once, and then it's like the only other time you would ever use it is to like check your
Then
pay
that
stubs or
first
something like
picture,
that.
Trump at the defendant's table.
That first picture, that first tender kiss, your first lover, the virginity of the pictures finally.
It's a website, yeah.
It's amplifying everything into significance.
Well, it's a website. You would just say, I'll give you a card with it. I'll write it down.
I don't mean it in a conspiratorial way. I don't believe
One of my business cards, I'll write down your login info for you.
And underneath it will slip through all
Gonna
this
get it set up.
legislation. I'm just meaning the whole spectacle itself. While our eyes are here, it's business as usual. You better believe billions are moving around. You better believe that the truly powerful are doing their thing right now. Whether you believe he's a martyr or the worst person ever to have lived, I believe when it comes to the truly powerful, you don't know their names.
His shoulders slumped, hands in his lap, flanked by his lawyers.
Shoulders slumped, hands on his lap, heart broken inside, a silent tear, a look into the middle distance, a broken man. Trump sat boldly with an erection.
Is it getting nasty outside? Looking nasty?
Justice out of the tip of his purple dick. Because
Shit's
that's red
coming,
and
man.
blue combined because he's the messiah of a bipartisan new dawn.
Yeah, yeah.
Pleading not guilty to those 34 felony charges that repeatedly and fraudulently falsified New York business records to conceal.
It's like literally a big dick coming toward us.
Information from the voting public during the 2016 presidential election.
I mean, even when you just read that, that does sound concealed damaging information, bit Hunter Biden laptop, used funds, bit Steele's dossier. Now, I know if you're a super pro-Democrat person, then you go, no, it's different. It has to be different than that. It has to be different, but it's not different enough, is it? That's our whole argument. It's not different enough. If you want to stop the rise of someone like Trump, if that's your deal, you have to offer something meaningfully different. We are going to change America. We are going to change these systems. We are going to help you live a meaningful life. We are going to help you awaken to who you truly are. And how are we going to do that? We're going to stop our relationship with the powerful dominant interests that currently control the trajectory and agenda of power.
Okay, can I go ahead and have a seat at that computer?
Get money out of politics. Create more decentralized
The one that's on. Actually, let me move something out of the way for you.
Trump orchestrated a criminal scheme with his former lawyer and fixer Michael Cohen and his friend, former National Enquirer publisher David Pecker, to pay hush money to at least 3 people, including porn actress Stormy Daniels.
Hush money Pecker, porn actress. I mean, what's going on? Incredible soap opera. Try to access for a moment the great depths within your own consciousness. Try to experience that you're in a universe right now, that at the submolecular level, miracles are occurring even as we speak, that we can create new realities. Do not remain in this dominion of idiocy.
An effort allegedly to prevent damaging stories from tipping the balance.
They can't say all of this and not talk about the Steele dossier. As you know, I am not pro-Trump. I am pro-change. I am pro-democracy. I am pro-you.
These are felony crimes in New York State, no matter who you are.
Yeah, that's right. We live
Hey, have a
in
good night.
fair system. And that's why there's not a long history of former American presidents killing kids around the world and never facing any consequences. And you already know
48161.
that, and you sort of have been trained not to care about that. And that tells you something very,
161.
very significant indeed. We just accept that when you're in that position, you do things that are unimaginable, but by any sensible metric would be illegal. So if we're going to talk about the illegality of these 34 misdemeanors and amplifying them into felonies because they could have
The phone number is the same still.
and they could be about concealing
So we're going to skip this, just not that you,
Forget
we don't think you have it, it's
sounds
just we
pretty
don't need
similar to
this
some
right
stuff
now.
that the Democrats have done. Why are
We're
we
gonna skip it.
talking about that when what we
All right, on this page here, you're just going to check the things that you have skills in, and then under availability, what shifts you're available for.
bomb and kill children and then be rehabilitated?
I have no idea. I think that was a mistake.
Trump may be the first former president to face criminal prosecution, but that fact in and of itself is a damning condemnation of the U.S. system.
Yeah, just whatever your availability is
Permeated our
for
system of
any
American
type of job.
exceptionalism. So the very notion that underwrites
I'm gonna give
this
you a
from
paper with the
liberal,
times and stuff, though.
neoliberal perspective is Trump may think he's above the law, but oh no, he's not. Whoever you are, don't matter if your name's Trump or Joe Blow, you're gonna face justice. Let's see if that holds up. The case against Trump would be a mere footnote of history, albeit a wild one, if the US actually believed in holding presidents and other top officials accountable for their crimes, including those committed in office. George W. Bush continues to enjoy his rebranded life as the
If something pops up that we think that you'd be a better fit for, we're going to offer it to you, especially if it pays more. So.
It's worse than George W. Bush now.
Our objective is to get you in the best position for you.
Backstage at the Ellen Show is bomb children and share hugs with the Obamas. Dick Cheney is somehow still alive and popping his head out to remind us that his dark soul is still lurking. The truth is that all of them should be serving substantial prison sentences for directing and orchestrating the gravest of criminal activity, war crimes. And what that tells you is when corruption is that extreme, it is systemic. If a system can accommodate illegal wars and war criminality, it is the system itself that needs to be held accountable. If Cheney, Bush, Obama, Clinton, both of them, are all war criminals, then that tells you, we're going to have to address the system. If you address and change
still have your pay card?
you start to impact the truly powerful organizations and institutions that control.
Sorry, what did you?
So
did
Trump,
you use a pay
for all
card?
of his amazing rhetoric, or depending on your view.
Oh, you're using Cash App. That's fine.
A sideshow that stops you
Yep.
addressing the system itself is corrupt and needs to be changed. And as long as you're caught up in this from either perspective, you're not going to hold these people and this system accountable. Trump's prosecution is not evidence that our much vaunted justice system can actually be applied fairly and evenly to all, even a former president. What it really shows is that it's possible to prosecute a cartoonish villain, even one who served as president, who happens to be widely despised by the so-called adults in the room. When Barack Obama first took office, he assured the CIA that no one would be prosecuted for running a secret global kidnapping and torture regime under Bush and Cheney.
Say no.
We need to look forward as opposed to looking
You
backwards.
care about something that old?
I
have shit more recent than that.
I do. I remember when Obama stood on that stage with his family and Oprah Winfrey. I was thinking, oh my God,
Just
this
click
is
next.
historic. This is going to mean change.
There you go.
But secretly, while all the fanfare was happening, Obama had assured Cheney, Bush, and the powers behind them, nothing's going to change. Don't need to worry about those war crimes. What that tells you is it's a continuum, a continual line. Later, he referred to the heinous program as we tortured some folks. We tortured some folks. Imagine for a moment that people that are being tortured don't exist beyond some wall in your imagination. Imagine that there's someone that you
At 12:55 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, Doppler radar was tracking strong thunderstorms along a line extending from near Gas City to near Alexandria to near Fishers. Movement was east at 50.
we can continue that conversation. What I am contesting is the system is so robust that it can accommodate the fluctuations between the Democrat and Republican Party because it owns both of them. Obama would go on to approve more
it just
drone
jumps you to there.
strikes in
So
his
I'm gonna
first
load
year
some
in
forms
office
for
than
you,
President
and then we're gonna
Bush
log
carried out
back
in his
in.
entire administration. The alleged peacemaker, very much like his predecessor, didn't he win a Nobel Peace Prize? I think he did. I think like it's like while bombing children, you win a Nobel Peace Prize. That's not a good system. A system go, oh, but it's more complicated than that. No, it isn't. The alleged peacemaker, very much like his predecessor, should be considered for the label of international war criminal. Let's move on to present day and President Joe Biden. Now, forget the incompetence, forget the lying, forget the ineptitude, the ridiculousness, the senility. Let's focus on war criminality. Joe Biden's first strike in his expansion of the US drone war occurred just weeks into his presidency when at least 4 members of the Popular Mobilization Forces were killed in strikes in
Kenneth
Syria and
Dot
Iraq.
Palmer.
Previously, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi
Yeah.
steadfastly refused to even consider impeachment proceedings
Yeah,
against
he is
him.
password, and
The
that's a
system
capital
depends on
T,
such
then a lowercase EMP, then 1, 2, 3 exclamation
bipartisan
point.
impunity. That means that they are safely contained in a
And then to
continuum.
get to that, when you get to that website, you'll click on employee login.
Are a distraction. And if
I
you
used to
want
have all that
criticize
printed
this,
on the
then
back
no,
of my
it's
cards, but the
important
last
that the
time
law
they
is
printed
upheld.
them, they didn't. I was like,
Well,
hey,
what law do you think's more important?
that was so
These
easy.
laws, although, and
Now you
you know,
guys,
perhaps
now I gotta
do
write
both.
it down
Let's
for
do
everybody.
both then. Because no, I don't see this shit on the news. Why is this
No
shit
big
on the
deal.
news? Because if you put this on the news, you'd have to make meaningful change. You'd have to make meaningful change. No
All right, go
prosecutor
ahead.
is
Click
reviewing Trump's
employee
rollback
login.
of US limitations on killing civilians abroad.
Now
And
the
there will be
computer
no
is kind of slow,
indictment
so
of
when you
women
click,
and
just give it a
children
chance
killed
because
under his
it's
watch.
the internet's
First up,
fast, but that
according to
these
this,
things are
if he goes down
dinosaurs. These
legally, it would
computers
be for
are.
his tawdry or
Yeah.
white
And
collar
username is
style
just your first name dot
infractions,
last
not for
name.
any war crimes he committed as president. This we do not do. In fact, the US government threatens to use force against any international body that even timing. And around the same moment Trump was learning of his impending criminal charges, Russian President Vladimir Putin was hit with a war crimes indictment by the International Criminal Court, or ICC. Putin's invasion of Ukraine has created an interesting predicament for the US empire on these matters. President Joe Biden said last year that Putin is a war criminal and has suggested he should stand trial for the Ukraine war. He should be prosecuted as a war criminal, right? Because of the crimes, not because his name or what he looks like or whether he poos himself or whether he's shaking in a bunker, because of the crimes, right? But Biden's administration has slow walked cooperating with the ICC. In fact, the Pentagon has blocked such cooperation for fear that prosecuting Putin would set a precedent that other nations could readily cite to demand equal application of the law to US officials and personnel. So there you are. All the while that the Biden administration is saying that Putin is uniquely a tyrant and a war criminal, secretly they're like, we better not prosecute this because we are war criminals, because the system is corrupt, because the type of change that's required will never be discussed by us. So whether it's Putin is a baddie, or Trump is a baddie, or Clinton is great, all of that rhetoric is fine because it's inconsequential. When it becomes consequential, like, yeah, let's stick Putin before a court. Guess who else is going to court? Biden, Obama, Bush. No way, no change. Not for you, not ever. Enjoy your TV show, kids. Enjoy your TV show while the system is doing just fine. Since the end of World War II, the US government has waged a judicial proxy war over its vanquished enemies and less powerful nations under the banner of international justice. The Nuremberg principles, which governed the trials of Nazi and imperial
Just use
Japanese
shift, don't use
criminals,
the caps.
represented a powerful
Shift
framework
T,
for holding even the most
and
senior
then
officials
release the shift
accountable for war
EMP.
crimes. But there was a crucial caveat built into the system. These principles were designed
1, 2, 3.
never to be
Shift
applied to
1.
the US and
There you
its
go.
allies. Since 2002, the US, by its own law, will never subject its personnel or those of its allies to the ICC and reserves the right to conduct a military operation inside the Netherlands, where the court is based, to liberate its own accused
Okay,
war
yeah.
criminals.
So
Oh my God,
that's your old assignment there.
sending in the Navy SEALs. But they would never,
We
you
go
know,
up
use that to
to
blow up a pipeline.
eDOCuments.
That must have been Russia blowing up
Start
their own
wizard,
pipeline
and
as a
then just
sort
start
of
going through
prank
these
on
forms.
Russia.
Just a
For
box
more
to
than
check
2
on the top
decades,
and
the US
bottom of this
position
one.
on
I'm gonna
international
give you a written copy of
prosecution
these
has been
rules
to
too.
oppose a permanent international court that would have jurisdiction equally over all war criminals, regardless of their nationality or position of power. That would be fair. That would be justice, rather than a television show, which we all enjoy. But let's remember it's a television show. Instead, it's encouraged ad hoc tribunals set up to prosecute war criminals from places like the former Yugoslavia and Rwanda and other African nations. And remember, what did Trump say? Bullshit countries. You can't say bullshit countries! Ah! Let's set up some bullshit trials in bullshit countries so that we don't ever have to face the consequences of our war crimes. And also, Donald Trump, he said bullshit countries. All we did was meant bullshit countries. We didn't say it, though. The whole purpose of this, from the US perspective, is to ensure that these laws will never be applied to Americans or their friends. And now that stance is revealed.
The wife goes to the urgent care for
of Putin's crimes in Ukraine.
some contact dermatitis. It's got her arm swelling up, and they gave her some steroids and stuff like they said. Like I told her they were probably going to do, but she's also COVID positive. So I'm like, oh, that sucks.
And that position
I'll be sleeping on the couch for a while.
Including in how it can be weaponized by criminals like Putin. So there you are. There is something called justice. There is something called law. There is something called systemic corruption.
Thanks to
None
News.
of that is on trial today.
I
You
didn't
might
look.
believe that Trump's crimes are being amplified.
Sorry,
in
yeah, I could
order
see your
to
messages. I
generate
just
a
wasn't over
political
there.
trial. Of course you're right. You may believe that America is doing something just and exceptional in the world. About this, you are very, very wrong. America has a long history of war crimes. America does not represent the people of America. America represents the corporations, globalist corporations that have no more allegiance to you as American citizens than they do as me as an Englishman, or people from shithole countries like Rwanda or the Netherlands or Yugoslavia. Those places are just corporate dominion. And while we're locked into this show trial, which I'll admit is fantastic and fascinating, watching Donald Trump, who I'll admit is fascinating and amazing, whether you like him or don't like him, you're watching him, the ratings are going up, business is booming, the ads are happening. Even if you hate him, you're watching him, aren't you? You're participating. Or if you love him, you're not addressing this, are you? We're all playing the game. We are allowing them to bludgeon us into dull idiocy. We must awaken now. We must demand real systemic change. We must look for new alliances. But that's just what I think. Let me know what you think in the comments in the chat. I'll see you in a second.
Little renegade tracking my use of bullshit countries and shithole countries there. Got it right eventually, because he did actually say shithole countries, not bullshit countries. CTHU1HU, I looked up her porn vids and they're pretty shit.
That's not the research that was required.
Wait a second, let's see this. Even if Stormzy Daniels' porn vids are any good, she's not even that good at pornography.
I like that we did the whole video there about how this is all we should be looking into war crimes, the military-industrial complex. It's like, no, the real search is this any good?
This just in, Stormzy Daniels' porn videos ain't even that bloody good. But now here's a person that understands the deep state at depth, who knows how power works and how power obfuscates. It's Adam Andrzejewski from OpenTheBooks.com. He's in, oh, God, we've met before, and I thought I loved you then. And Adam, if anything, you've become yet more beautiful. Thank you for joining us again.
Mr. Brand, it is great to be here. Thanks for having me back.
I'm honored that you would even come back after some of the travesties that took place last time. Adam, thank you for coming. What I want to ask you about primarily is, given the nature of the charges that Trump faces, it's worth investigating whether they are particularly unique or particularly pronounced or specifically and obviously worse than the types of crimes that ordinarily take place within political campaigns and campaigning. Can you give us any sort of references or that perhaps contextualize Trump's charges?
Well, it's a sad day for the American people on a lot of levels, Mr. Brand, but specifically, I'm from Illinois. It is the Super Bowl of corruption, and our governors are legendary for their corrupt practices. At a recent point, 4 out of our last 9 governors served time in the federal penitentiary. And so, we've got a unique perspective on this. It is a new era of brass-knuckle politics across the entire country. So, for example, if you're Hillary Clinton, if you have the Clinton Foundation and it's based in Little Rock, Arkansas, Pulaski County, there's a prosecutor.
Maybe I'll get her to
there.
get on.
And you better be able to justify your $250 million endowment or the 75% drop in your fundraising between the time you left Secretary of State's
All right,
office
this is
and 2020.
wacky. How
If
okay,
you're
you did the
Nancy
NA
Pelosi,
part.
and if you
On this
are,
one, you just have to
you know,
say
if
you did
there's a
not
new
use a
Republican
translator, and then
president,
you just sign it there.
you'll probably get a knock
It's
from
okay.
the Securities and
That's
Exchange
one of the
Commission,
reasons why I
and
monitor
they're
it,
going
because
to
it's
ask
that
you to
form is so
justify
wacky.
your stock market trades.
Yeah.
If you're President
Sometimes it's hard to
Joe
find
Biden
them, and they're so
undermining the
tiny.
entire family on a new Republican president, I mean, this opens up a whole Pandora's box. It is a troubling moment in the history of the country when a local prosecutor goes after a former U.S. president and leading contender in a major party and decides to arrest and arraign him.
I suppose so. So what you're saying is you have to have a legitimate and transparent authority to conduct an investigation like this. And it's clear, even from the examples that you have cited, that there is no moral authority. That how would Nancy Pelosi and Paul Pelosi stand up to rigorous investigation? How would the Hillary and Bill Clinton Foundation look under scrutiny in their relationship with some of their donors? And more broadly, there is so much systemic corruption. The relationship between politics and finance and the military-industrial complex, lobbying itself, the number of people in Congress that own stocks and shares in companies they regulate, it's so murky.
So do you claim anyone besides yourself?
And in fact, obviously, that's to some degree what led
This
to
federal
the
form is
rise
so
of
messed up.
Donald
You have
Trump,
to do
his
absolutely nothing then.
anti-establishment rhetoric.
Step
that
5,
most
just
people
check that
who
box.
love him find appealing about him. That if you
And then
are
go
going
all the way to the
start
bottom and
to
click
address
next.
these types of issues legitimately, not as part of a
The rest of it's just a
political
worksheet.
witch
I don't
hunt
even know why it
to
attaches
get rid
that.
of
Okay.
a sort of a potential
So technically, you're not a new employee, so
opponent,
put no there.
then
And then if
then
you are
you're
going
gonna
to claim
have to
just
dismantle
put
the
yourself
machine
for state, you
itself.
put a 1.
Well,
in that
jailing your political opponents is no solution. And look, Trump
And then you
Trump
sign it
never
in
had a
box
chance
9.
here. Take a look at the case from 2011. A twice-running
No, you don't need that.
presidential
Yeah.
candidate, a
I don't
former
even know why they
US
asked that.
senator
That's none of
from
their
North
business.
Carolina, a Democrat, John Edwards.
Box 9.
Well,
You just
the
check that
Justice
box.
Department came
Yep.
in
And
and
go to the bottom,
indicted
click
him
finish.
on 6 counts for allegedly
And
taking
good.
$1 million
As long as it doesn't
worth
say
of
input, you're
campaign
good. Where it says
cash,
pending
actual
review, it just means I have to
campaign
do my
cash,
portion
to
there.
cover up his
I'm gonna
affair
log
with
you
a
out.
mistress.
You are
Okay,
done on the
he
computer.
beat those charges. 5 were
All right.
eventually dismissed. The one that
Hand
went
you
to the jury
this.
that rendered a decision, he was not
All
guilty.
right, front and back on these
In
pages.
this
There's some
case,
pens over there in the
Trump is
basket.
being prosecuted for not paying
If you have questions about
for
the
Stormy
meaning behind
Daniels
any of that, just
and
ask. I will
disclosing
explain.
it as a campaign expense, the exact opposite of John Edwards. So you can't have it both ways. This is a flimsy case.
You're
and
just
quite
signing
frankly,
consent
it's a
if we
sad
do
moment
place you in a position that
for the
requires a
American
background. Well, that's okay. You got the back.
You can't call America an experiment at this stage, Adam. There's clearly some results are already in. Now, I wanted to ask you a little more about earmarks, which I believe you're going to demonstrate to us is a great example of bipartisan corruption. At the moment, I don't even know what earmarks are. Will you please, as you have done ever since the moment I first clapped my hungry eyes upon you, educate us, Adam?
Well, earmarks are the currency of corruption in Congress, Mr. Brand. So earmarks, they were dead for 10 years. There was a ban on them because they were so abused in the past. Earmarks is quite simply a legal bribe doled out to maximize the power of the House Speaker. They dole out earmarks on these big spending bills, the omnibus
no one ever
spending
chats on
bills,
Rumble,
to
though.
make them bipartisan on the votes. So you give away a member
Oh, yeah.
project
Italian
in their
sausage,
district,
noodles, gravy.
and then you grease the skids for the votes. So in the last omnibus spending bill in December of this year, it was a $1.7 trillion bill. There was 7,500 earmarks in that bill, costing the American taxpayer $16 billion. And some of the examples are just absolutely outrageous. So you've got $1 million on a macadamia nut research earmark in Hawaii by the U.S. senator. You've got $1 million doled out to the Great Blacks in Wax Museum by Kwame Nkrumah, a congressman from Baltimore, who actually has a wax statue in the museum. You've got $1 million doled out for a new stairway, not to heaven, but to the beach in Mondo Beach, California, so the surfers can hit the waves faster. You've got $1 million doled out for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland, Ohio. You got $3 million doled out for the Hip Hop Museum in New York. You've got $3.5 million doled out by the Republican U.S. Senator Susan Collins in Maine for the Irish Heritage Museum. The examples are endless.
You don't need it on there,
Can you tell
no.
us a little more? Thank you for that. Can you tell us a little
We have
more
a copy
about
of it, so
collusion
it's
between Big
yeah, you
Pharma
don't
and
need
the
to fill it.
government? In particular, we want to talk about the Buys-Dole Act, or I think that's right. Yeah, like well, recently when we saw
Very good,
Joe
very good.
Biden railing against the pharmaceutical industry, we were struck by his failure to use an existing piece of legislation to prevent people paying $190,000 a year for a cancer drug. I understand that you know more about this than us, and frankly, that's not hard. But would you?
That's one
please
thing
share
Rumble
that
needs to
knowledge?
work on is their delay.
So at $190,000 a year for this prostate cancer drug, by the way, which is really effective, activists felt that this would be a great test case example for the National Institutes of Health to finally come in and use what's called their march in powers to be able to knock down the price of that drug. The National Institutes of Health, they weighed in and they did not use their power. They did not use their regulatory power to knock it down. So on its face, this looked like a great textbook example. There was a high price. The National Institutes of Health.
All right, so that's it as far as we go. Now there is the safety thing. Oh no, you're gonna need that. It's okay.
UCLA had received those federal
I'm used
grants,
to
and they had
it. Now this is
pioneered
you're
the
just signing consent for the drug
technologies
screen. We don't
to
need to
help
do
that
one
drug actually come to
unless you
market.
appear
They had
intoxicated at work
licensed it
or
to a
if
pharmaceutical company, a
yeah, okay.
foreign one from Japan,
Huh?
to a foreign pharmaceutical
No,
company.
no, okay.
And so they felt this
Now,
was
as far as
a great,
cannabis goes,
this would be
Michigan
a great
recreational,
textbook
then we
example
consider
to
it just
see
like
if for the
alcohol.
first
Okay.
time in
Yeah, I
history,
started at
NIH
78. I
would
smoked about
use
50
its
years.
power to regulate and knock down the price
Oh
of
yeah.
that drug. In Japan,
I'm just
for
saying is
example,
we
it was
consider it the same as
$30,000,
alcohol.
not
Okay.
$190,000
Just
a
don't
year.
smoke before work. Don't smoke on break.
The Biden
Just like we
administration
wouldn't
decided not
expect
to
you to do
use
with
it.
alcohol. Okay.
Because, well, I think it's because
And of course, they will
this was
test you if you're
right up
hurt or something like that,
against
or
the
if you appear
Pfizer
intoxicated.
footprint, against the Pfizer fiefdom.
Okay.
So UCLA,
This portion
which
is
had
for the Food and Drug
licensed the
Administration.
technology of the
Okay. We have
pharmaceutical company,
this
had
is the
collected
handbook that you already signed for. There's a copy of what that one
between
paper you signed.
2012
Okay. The rest of
and
it's
2016 on
food safety
royalties.
stuff.
But then they
All right.
sold
You get to
their
keep that.
future
No, you keep
royalty
that.
stream out through
No, you use that to fill this
2027
out though.
for over
This
$1
we keep
billion.
on file for the
So
FDA. If
Royal
they come by an
Pharmacy,
audit,
who
we
was
have to
then
have one of these
quickly
on everybody
acquired
working.
by Pfizer.
Signature
Even though
register,
the
you just have to print,
patent for the
sign, and
drug is
initial
held
just
by the
that top line.
Japanese pharmaceutical
Okay.
company, the
This
U.S.
page,
market is run by
this page is
Pfizer.
just an
So
acknowledgement
now,
that you.
Russell,
Here, let
you
me
have Pfizer
mute
when they
this.
make a sale since 2016 in the United States. Not only do they reap the profit from their sale of the pill, but they also reap on the backside a piece of the royalty payment as well. They're double dipping every sale on that pill. So I don't think the Biden administration wanted to get in the way of Pfizer.
Double dipping is unhygienic in any language, isn't it? It's disgusting to hear of the double dip going on at a time like this. During a high-profile case, involving a pornography actor, it's disgusting to hear that the double dip is being practiced so flagrantly.
Adam called you Russell then for the first time.
I saw that and I enjoyed it. I felt that was more intimate. You can double dip me in the brand or the Russell, Adam. Last time we spoke, you were a good enough sport to pluck at random a book from behind yourself and read a passage. I see those books behind you as your throne of authority. What particular piece of hermeneutic knowledge will you share today, Adam Andrzejewski?
Hey, I prepped a book for you, Mr. Brand, and it's called The War on Waste. I mean, I want to throw a gauntlet challenge down to President Biden, House Speaker McCarthy, to embrace the transparency revolution, declare war on waste. I think they'll find it a target-rich environment at every level. This is a book that was done by Peter Grace at the behest of Ronald Reagan back in the mid-1980s. It was called the Grace Commission. And what they found was when they took a look at federal spending in the 1980s, that 30%, 30 cents on every dollar was wasteful spending. And nobody, you, me, nobody today believes that situation is any better.
God, you're adorable. One of these days, I'm going to come to that corrupt state you're dwelling in and give you such a cuddle. The day that I'm in that frame with you, able to pluck those leather-bound books from that shelf will be a great day for me. Adam, thanks once again for continuing to educate us. You can follow Adam's work by going to openthebooks.com. We're very grateful to you, both for the great work you've done and for the beautiful face that you have. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll see you again soon. Thank you very much. Now, almost as if we're a genuine news channel, we're going to go directly to, well, no, we're not going to go directly. We're going to see, like, we've been dabbling in mainstream media for a little while now. We spoke recently to an Australian journalist who was live at those Parisian riots. Well, you know, like, all of the media actually outnumbered the public outside the courtroom where Donald Trump was about to be arraigned, and he's now been arraigned. And like you, I didn't use the word arraigned until about 48 hours ago. Well, here we are co-opting and hijacking our own correspondent, Robert Sherman. Before we talk to him, let's see him in action on the mainstream media before seeing a different side to a man that I believe to be incredibly handsome and lucid. Let's look at Robert Sherman doing the news.
No matter how you slice it and no matter how you feel about it, this will be a historic day for the United States. It has never happened before. And this is what we're seeing on the streets of New York City. This was yesterday, awaiting the arrival of former President Trump. Large amounts of media. It has become a total media frenzy out here.
Robert Sherman, or as we know him on Stay Free, the Shermanator. Robert is joining us now. Hey, how's it going, mate?
Well, I'm feeling a lot better now that I've just gotten such a warm compliment and a warm welcoming. Thank you so much for having me, Russell.
What was it like being there in that media throng? Is there a lot of competition to get the best spot? Is there a lot of elbowing one another? What's the vibe like between reporters on the scene?
You know, I mean, typically at a small story, there's a little bit of camaraderie, and something like this, nothing of the kind. And I'll tell you this, Russell, that I thought that the biggest media circus I'd ever see was the Super Bowl or something like that. Not even close to what we saw here. You had media outlets coming in from Germany, Japan, Australia. I mean, you see some of these images, people just crawling on top of one another to get the same photo that the person right next to them is going to get. I've never seen a scene like this before.
Do you feel like pressurized to amplify particular details? Because let's face it, not much really happened. Donald Trump came, he waved a bit, he went into a courtroom. Do you feel under like personal and professional pressure to create a narrative out of, in a sense, just ordinary details?
No, not at all, especially over at our network, because this was something that we really talked about here is that, look, I mean, you've had this narrative coming in that there would be, you know, all of this activity happening here, you know, the potential for riots and things like that. And we said, look, unless the narrative actually happens, don't play into it at all. That was our perspective. So we try to stay away from that as much as possible and just give you the facts.
That's good, because we're trying to do that here. We're sort of like see ourselves as, I suppose, an anti-establishment news organization that looks to create alliances from across sectarian divides and infuse our content with the potential for spiritual awakening. We've got no one on the ground, and that's where we could collaborate. You, the Shermanator, could be regularly, essentially, doing what you're doing anyway, but then doing a bit of it for us as well. Maybe for cred, and if it came to it, possibly for money.
Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. No, it was a pretty unbelievable scene that you had out here today. Nothing like it at all. But as you said, you know, a whole lot for nothing. And I think one point to make here as well is that, I mean, you see all these scenes of the people who were outside as well. I feel compelled to tell your viewers that at least 4 out of 5 people who were out here yesterday were either members of law enforcement or members of the press. I mean, yeah, you had demonstrators who were out here both for and against the president. But, I mean, press certainly outnumbered protesters. It wasn't even close out here.
So in a way, it's like the spectacle is creating and consuming itself. It's almost like if there were no media and no law enforcement there, the event kind of wouldn't be happening. I'm sure that you're familiar with the writing of Jean Baudrillard. Certainly if you watch this channel, we're always banging on about him, because he talks continually about how the media is creating a sort of synthetic reality that we're all existing in. And when you look at the work of someone like Chris Hedges, you realize that you're not capable of fully understanding the horror of war, nor would we like to. So war is kind of simplified to a sort of game. Justice is simplified to a kind of game. And all of us are in our own ways participating in it. Do you ever feel compromised, Robert, or do you feel like you're able to keep in alignment with your personal principles, even when participating, as you know, I accept that we are also, in the reporting of a sensational story that's doubtless being amplified for the purposes of entertainment rather than justice, say?
Right, and I mean, that is what you have to do as a journalist. And I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, everybody who's out here who is a journalist has an opinion on what's going on here. You have to put that aside. And of course, your viewers are well aware of it. There are some people who don't do that, but you have to put it aside. You have to just call the balls and strikes as they happen out here, which is what we've been trying to do. But I mean, of course, there's some people who don't do that, and there's some people who do stoke the flames a little bit. I would push back though on say one thing though is that a large part of the reason that so much of this attention came down here was because of the former president putting so much of a limelight on this case with some of the things that he put on social media a couple of weeks ago. Of course, the indictment brought a lot more attention to that, but it's not as if the limelight just is created by the press. There is the starting point as well, and sometimes we just come out here.
I suppose so, yeah. Well, one of the things we try to do is use it as a means to pose this kind of story with other stories like, we've done some analysis on NATO, and tomorrow we're talking to Aaron Mate about the NATO's expansion into Finland, for example. And we're just really trying to tackle the complexity of being respectful of various and often opposing mainstream and alternative perspectives. But I can see and feel that you're really open to that. So in a sense, this could be the beginning of a long-standing
anything to do with allergen, it would be green
collaboration.
Well, open to anything as well. Really appreciate you having us on, Russell. Thank you so much.
Robert Sherman there, the Shermanator. Look at that. What a pro. What a brilliant segue. We couldn't do that. Thanks for joining us live on the scene. The Shermanator will be joining you again for sure. Thanks so much, Robert. It's good to chat to you, mate.
Thank you for having me.
Take care. There he goes. One of the best goddamn journalists, I'd say.
It's about Baudrillard and eroticism, I can't imagine.
Well, I think he dealt with it very deftly, didn't he? Sort of in his bar. I thought he was more relaxed with us.
Very relaxed.
Well, I think we bring out the best in people. I'm not taking all the credit for Robert Sherman's personality. That's a complex thing that's come about over time. And
This is Miranda calling from Square. Is this Norman?
It is.
I reckon we bring out the best in him and perhaps in each other. Who could possibly say? Hey, guess what's happening? Tomorrow, as I just said to the Shermanator, we've got Aaron Mate coming on to talk about NATO, to talk about
we actually, our corporate office started the account.
Also about
so they took it over.
One of the things that Trump
so we do have an account with you, but it's not through me. It's they just.
And
I was like, well, actually, I set it up, and then I just gave them the login.
So that's the kind of rabble-rousing stuff that Trump came out with that caused so many people to condemn him, so many people to adore him. If you want, you can sign up to Locals for weekly guided meditations, live podcast recordings. There's all sorts of stuff that we do here. We're going to be having a break soon. We're going to, over the time of Easter, whether you consider it to be a pagan festival or a Christian festival or simply something that's happening in your hemisphere, we're going to have a little break to regenerate and renew ourselves. So we're on Thursday, we're on Friday. Friday, we're going to have a fantastic show. I think we're going to have an interview with Rainn Wilson from The Office talking about his new book about spirituality and stuff. These books coming out in a little while. So we've got some fantastic shows coming up this week. Join us tomorrow, not for more of the same, but for more of the different. Until then, stay free.
Now you switch on.
The cup with the backspin. Larry Mize now. I have a feeling we'll continue to see Larry in this competition, even though he will no longer play in the Masters tournament after this year.
Fall is your favorite, but you love this time of year? Yeah, I do too. I love the first portion of the second quarter of the year.
Scotty Scheffler.
Everything's mild. weather's always good. It's decent golf weather. I might get out and try to get a couple rounds in this next few months. You're taking Zach Johnson? How about you guys? Who are you guys taking to win? I root for Tiger no matter what.
No,
how's it
no.
going?
But the way the work week goes, it starts on Monday.
For
So
you.
the 10th is Monday.
My name is Stacy, and I'm a recruiter.
and
I was
Sunday.
like, oh my god, this is
Okay?
fucking amazing.
First Friday after
So that's actually how I'm doing dating now. I'm
21st
going on
will be your
coffee
first check.
dates
It'll
with
be a full check,
recruiters.
'cause it's
Only when I get laid here. That's all I have.
Be doing it live in the field for you. So let's get people. Let me know if you got a notification. Put a 1 in the chat if you got a notification. There we go. People are starting to come in. All right, guys. So here's the story. Third Coast Cop Watch sees Louisiana cops, the Grant Parish Sheriff's Department, pulled over on the side of the road, blocking the road, no emergency lights on. So he gets out of the car. He decides to film them, and they need that ID crack. They need it now. When they don't get what they want, they tell him he's allowed to leave. He can go free. Well, when he leaves, they follow him home. They gang stalk him, and they arrest him for obstructing a highway, obstructing a roadway, resisting arrest, even though everything's on video. So what we've been doing recently is when we get this type of terrible behavior, we like to go live from the field. And show you what's going on. So there's a follow-up that you guys should all see. Truth Be Told audits is with Michelle's Mobile Media. They weren't happy with the way things went, so they went down there themselves. So let's bring that up here. We're going to show you what it looks like live from the field. I'm going to share the screen with you, and you're going to see what's happening right now. Everyone can please hit the like button. I really appreciate it. Let's check out the follow-up.
better be safe, I guess.
WY. And there's your friendly reminder, people. I guess they had court back here at the courthouse today. There's a lot of people coming out of there right now. See what they got over here. And of course, no inspection sticker. And they're supposed to be running state inspections even on the squad cars here in Louisiana. See you in here, Michelle. What unit number is this? 262 is the one with no inspection.
What'd you do?
Sheriff's office to say.
What'd you do, Anna?
See the lights in the front dash on this one. Little bitty small police department out here for sure.
Nice. Oh, yeah. Demons are the best.
Thank y'all all for coming in. Make sure to hit that like button for me. Appreciate that. Appreciate that.
So, guys, what we're watching here is the Grant Parish Sheriff's Office that were super dirty and arrested Third Coast Cop Watch, gang stalked him, and kidnapped him. So they're live from the field right now. This audit is taking place right now at the Sheriff's Department and then to the Police Department to figure out why they're allowing this type of behavior.
So let's go on in. Let's look at the outside, so let's take a look at the inside.
Okay, here.
Hello. No, I need some help just here in a minute. I'll let you know here in a minute. Okay. Can I get your name? Ruth? Or... Anonymous, welcome in.
Anonymous.
$5 fee will be added to any credit or debit card transaction. Way to make all that extra money. Check it out, y'all. There's the gang symbol right there. But most everywhere here in Louisiana, they have those signs up everywhere. I don't even call it a flag, it's a sign. It's a gang sign.
Yeah, don't fuck with earthquakes, man.
I'm sure this place got a lot of phone calls. What's up, Heather? Welcome in. Glad to see you, girl. So far, so good. You're definitely going to be going to a few different places out here today. Make sure we're respecting all of our rights to reform. Put one in the chat if y'all can hear me. Make sure my audio is coming through. Thank you, Heather. What's up, Karen? Nice to see you. Is there any way I can get a couple of officer complaint forms? Uh-huh. Okay, what all do y'all do up here in this office up here?
We do civil,
Okay. So I figured the courthouse would do a lot of the stuff with like the tickets and stuff, but they do send people up here to this front office, correct? Okay. And do you have a badge number? You're a deputy? 71. All right. How long have you been out here at this department? 9 years? All right. San Joaquin Valley Transportation. Let's take a look back here. Much for doing a live First Amendment audit out here in Grant Parish, where Third Coast Cop Watch was arrested for doing his First Amendment protected activity rights. They followed him back to his house and arrested him in his driveway, saying that he was fleeing, and a bunch of other trumped up charges. Guy's got a gun right there, so I'd imagine he's some kind of officer coming out of the courthouse over there.
Oh, shit.
He's getting on the phone right now. Backside of the courthouse.
Nice. I didn't know you were a musician, Anna. Gotcha.
Got that unhealthy food section.
It looks cool. Good idea, madame. Let me share this. I'm about way behind on this premiere. This is AFA. I got it on 1.25. I was losing viewers for Kill Tony, believe it or not, with Shane Gillis even.
How's it going? Good. Need to get 2 officer complaint forms. Yeah, the actual forms.
Bows up to 300 people. Has he already told his viewers where to go?
I don't necessarily want to sit down, but what's your name?
My name is Eric Carter.
Eric Carter. And you have a badge number?
I do.
You do? Can I get that from you, sir? I'll take a card. All right. Nope, just need to get the officer complaint forms, and there's a vehicle 262 out there that there's no inspection sticker in, and Louisiana state, any of the state cars have to run state inspection in their vehicles too. So just wanted to bring that up. That way y'all can correct that problem as well. 262.
Would you like to speak to that officer?
Well, if you, yeah, sure, I would love to talk to him.
Okay, what's your name, sir?
I don't really want to give my name right now.
You're not giving me my name.
Right, correct. And the difference between that is you're a public servant, and I'm a, we the people out here, and I like to stand up for my Fourth Amendment rights.
We people, I understand your civil rights.
Mm-hmm.
File a complaint, you need to give me your name.
No, I don't. I can remain completely anonymous when I do a complaint form.
You can.
So why would you sit there and tell me I can, but then you tell me I need to get my name on a complaint form?
Make a valid complaint.
Oh, so what do y'all do with the ones that don't have my name on it? Y'all throw them away or what? You take them? Then what do you do with them if I don't have my name?
I'm not supposed to press charges when I can't corroborate with a witness.
People can remain anonymous when they do a complaint. A lot of people like to have complaint forms because they're scared of the officers and they don't want to confront anybody on anything.
You will stand there, wait there, do whatever you like there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm going to do what I want to do. You know what I mean? Because that's my right to do. And I need those complaint forms.
And I was telling you, we'll bring you the forms.
Correct.
Momentarily.
Okay. That's fine. You could drop the
On
attitude
what?
too, though.
On Kick? Or
Yeah, here it
on
is.
what?
Y'all listen
YouTube?
to this one?
YouTube, I think it's 50 now.
They do got a bad attitude out here. Got a super bad attitude out here.
Well, you need subs? Yeah.
Guys, check this out, right? These cops are morons, and they literally hire anybody.
Oh, you got
Cop says
41.
you can't fill out a complaint unless you give ID, but you can fill out a complaint without ID. These people are morons, literal hicks.
And to make it easier for the people, you should have those out in the lobby, so they're available to the public.
Available.
You could put them like in a folder out here on the wall to make them easier for the public to come in and get. You know what I mean? That's just a recommendation. They should be relatively available to the public as well. So, yeah, bad attitude. They think it's not an attitude, but they got to learn who they're talking to up here as well.
Any of you guys aren't sub to Anna, sub to her now. I mean,
So the officers are in control of their own vehicles as far as maintenance and inspection and all that, right?
She just needs 50 to be able to go live mobile through the YouTube app.
And when they need something done to the cars out here, they
channel too.
Bring them to y'all, and then y'all take care of them. Because usually, some departments, the officers are in control of their own vehicles as far as getting maintenance done and inspection stickers and all that. Well, I was asking questions, you know what I mean? So I could finish asking questions. So who takes care of the inspections on the vehicles?
Fleet manager is in charge of that.
Fleet manager, okay. All right, yeah. See, I mean, that's things that we like to know. You know what I mean? It's simple questions and everything like that. So, no, actually, I'm going to stand in here and look around a little bit, and so.
Good day.
Yep, complete tyrants out here. So.
He's got backward wrists. I mean,
I'm at his desk for a little bit.
It might make it difficult for him to be able to do his job.
His name, Eric Carter.
In the field.
being questioned at all. So Joey Surreal's in jail. Not no good. Let's take a walk around the courthouse out here. Yeah, he didn't like being talked to. He definitely had an attitude. Probably some of the mass phone calls they've been getting out here. They need to be put back in their place. Because they literally followed him home and arrested him for no reason. They let him go on the highway just to arrest him in his own driveway.
Huh.
There's an officer walking right here in front of us. I think he deserves a complaint for himself.
Oh shit, must have just dropped something else. Is it from his live? It's a cut from his live, I think. Yeah, it's a cut from his live. And see, Tyrant Hunter just had a premiere as well. Oath Breakers, Mass Accountability. A lot of shit just dropped.
All right, guys, like I said, this is important that we do this type of stuff, okay? So 2 weeks ago, Third Coast Cop Watch decides that he wants to film some hit cops in Grant Parish Sheriff's Department, Louisiana. Because he filmed them, they followed him home they let him go, no problem. They wanted that ID crack. They let him go, no issues. By the time he gets
set
home,
up a
he's
handle
being
for your
arrested
channel too
for
in
resisting
settings.
arrest, obstructing a highway, obstructing a roadway, and
Yeah, I
illusion
wouldn't
of a
touch any
police
links,
officer, failure
Chopper.
to yield. So right now, live,
It
Truth
will
Be
at
Told
least
Audits is at this department. Now, let me tell you something.
pull in your voice.
They've been very transparent.
I mean, it'll
They've
ask
shut
you
down their
to
Facebook
allow
page
it,
unless
but-
you followed them for 72 hours or more because they're sick and tired of you, the people, redressing your grievances. Apparently,
The only safe
creating
channel
public
is
record
mine.
is something that they're willing to violate. The Bain Act shares no existence as far as the Grant Parish
There's no
Sheriff's
Bain Act in
Department is
Louisiana.
concerned here. Joey Surreal was arrested.
Only
As soon as I
California.
can get that video off the spinning wheel, we'll bring that
The
up
shit
for a
right
brief
AFA.
interruption, see what we can do with that. And we'll get back to this and show you the video of the actual arrest. But no one does this, right? Like, we need to do this. We show you a video of someone getting their rights violated. Then we reach out to our huge network of people that we deal with that are freedom-fighting, American-loving people. And then we cut to the field like a regular news broadcast so you can see live how they react. And it's normally like this when there's a bigger camera. If they don't think your video will go viral, they'll be glad to violate your rights.
Go live for a little bit. Got a couple of things to take care of out here.
He's 75 on
They're
Kick.
definitely not very welcoming out here. They immediately want to jump to conclusions and not respect people. They need to be professional, but of course we all know that they're not going to be professional in every place that we go to. So I'd like to come back and do this courthouse one day, but we're
You can you hear me, Leroy?
I can hear you. Yes. Can you hear me?
So far, man.
I just joined, so I'm going to be catching up here.
You know, they don't want to do much of anything besides tell him that he needs name and ID to fill out a complaint process while they're driving and while they're arresting and tackling and kidnapping a guy and gang stalking him for improper driving. Their cruisers are driving around with no valid inspection registration. So Truth Be Told is out there right now. Joey Surreal also got arrested. So we're waiting for that video to upload so we can take a peek. I'm trying to see if it just did upload. I'll be under live. Oh, we got, all right. So guys, real quick, this is the Grant Parish Sheriff's Department. We're going to cut real quick to Joey Surreal and the issue that he's having right now. He was just arrested. Let's cut real quick over there, and then we're going to come back to Truth Be Told. All right, let's do that. This is what we got to be doing. I mean, like, if we could have auditing activism news, I mean, why not? Here's Joey Surreal. Let's check him out.
want to have a conversation. Let's go. Come on, bro. You're not bullying me out of here, bro.
Look at these bullies, bro. Bullies, look. This is right film, bro. A huge ass building that we pay for. Stop. You're not resist. Don't resist. I'm not resisting. Don't resist. Why you arresting me? Why you arresting me? Good. All right. He is the supervisor. He is the supervisor. You got it? All right, guys. Joey Surreal, like I said, just arrested in a public building. We'll have more on that soon when it comes. We're back live with Truth Be Told audits. Let's see what he's doing.
Right. I get it, Anna. I get it. Stay safe.
This is just crazy,
Yeah,
Judge.
that's why, you know.
Arrest.
Red app now.
Yeah, he didn't like me asking him why he had the flag at half-mast.
All right, guys, here's what we're going to do. If you guys want to go check out Truth Be Told audits, you can go to his live stream, tell him AFA sent you. And we're actually going to go check out Joey Surreal, take a little bit of a look at his arrest. So why don't we do that? I would like everyone, if you'd like to go right now to Truth Be Told, you can go check out his live stream, tell him AFA sent you. Of course, we'll be monitoring it, and we'll take a little bit more of a look at Joey Surreal's arrest. I'm going to be monitoring this here. So apparently, filming in public is a crime. They'll get you. Oh, we know that. That'll get you assaulted by the police. So let's take a look. On my way out. I was on my way out. Oh shit! I was on my way out. So you guys are just bullying me out of here. Why are you doing that, bro? Let me finish taking pictures, bro. All right. So have a nice day. You're impeding my way, bro. Come on, man. Bro, look at these tyrants, bro, in Miami. This is why we film, bro. I'm just taking pictures, and they had a meltdown. It's a public building, bro. Okay, you're trying to give me a copyright. It's not gonna happen, bro. It's not gonna happen. This guy's trying to give me a copyright strike, guys. Come on, man. This. So real quick, we can go over something. We've dealt with this before. Okay. Eric Brandt, police officer shines a light in his camera. That's a violation of the Bain Act. There's a problem with that. Lawsuit goes through. Other cops decide that it's a good idea to play Toy Story music to try and get a copyright strike. That's an issue of the Bain Act. Now you have this piece of shit fuckknuckle who has his phone playing music and he's following him around hoping to get some sort of copyright issue. And when that doesn't work out, they decide to just arrest him. What's up, Smo Diego? Let's continue to watch. This is a joke, bro. Why are you standing so close to me, bro? For real, stop. You're causing a disturbance. Comply, bro. Stop resisting. Stop resisting and comply, bro, to the First Amendment. I'm just taking pictures, bro. First Amendment applies to you. So applies to who? You're kicking me out of here? You're asking me so I can stay. If you're asking me, I'm allowed to stay. I'm creating a problem. I was on my way out. You got a bunch of people on here watching live, bro. You wanna have a conversation outside? Wanna have a conversation? Let's go. Come on, bro. You're not bullying me out of here, bro. Look at these bullies, bro. Bullies, look. This is right film, bro. A huge ass building that we pay for. Stop. You're like, resist. Don't resist. I'm not resisting. Don't resist. Why are you arresting me? Cops love to say that. They love to say, don't resist.
As they beat the shit out of you.
They're normally saying don't resist when you're unconscious and getting the shit kicked out of you. That's normally say they'll be kicking you in the head and their foot will be telling your unconscious face to stop resisting. That's really
absolutely. I mean, this is evil and inhumane. And if anyone, say from a planet, say called Saturn, they come to Earth and say, hey, let's look at the state of human beings and judge from this, the man who's being assaulted and bullied is the gentleman with the camera. But there's no protection against our rights. And they all just go in line with each other. No one is stepping back and saying, hey, all you guys back off. He's got a right to do this.
Yeah, it's a huge problem. And Desade asks a great question. Are you
you can, but you're going to get your ass beat.
Resist an unlawful arrest. If a police officer is acting outside the legal bounds of his jurisdiction or his oath to badge, then yes, you are allowed to use up to deadly force to protect yourself against him or anyone else that might be trying to stop your forward progress.
That isn't going to save you.
And this is why it's so important that, these guys are out here doing what they do. Truth be told, didn't have to drive hours. Let me tell you a quick story, Leroy. I think you heard this one about Louisiana. about the neighboring parish to Grant Parish. I made the mistake of filming at a jail there. I was there. I was arrested. My phone's still running live. They wound up getting tons and tons of phone calls. And finally, the sheriff came down from his home and he unarrested me. And I said, no, we're not doing that. I've never heard of that. You might as well at this point. You hooked me, you booked me, you send me up to the jail. They said we were free to go. We were no longer detained, but they shackled us up. Instead of letting us leave out the front door with our ride, they drove us 70 miles away over 3 parishes and dropped us off behind a shopping mall at a fucking swamp. And they left us there with nothing. Turns out 2 of the deputies were found to have stolen my wallet along with several other items from other folks. 3 internal investigations were done. The deputies were found at fault. And the prosecutor, of course, declined to pursue any charges. This is the problem that you have when you're in Hickville with these under fucking scored cops. Let's see what the sound says here. I'm not sure what he's saying. Let's check in on him.
Definitely can't measure intelligence from an autograph.
All right, now we're down here.
I wasn't putting up with that. I know you wanted to roll on your own, but
Oh, no, that's fine.
I wasn't.
No, that's fine. Hey, you're allowed to open your mouth anytime you want. That's called freedom of speech. It's in the First Amendment. You're allowed to ask questions to our government.
Indeed.
You can put your GPS on for the next place. Read that. Yes, you can.
It doesn't matter.
All right, guys, that's the first part of the audit. Right now, they're actually going to the police department with the body cam to get the body cam. We have sheriffs and we have cops there. So, Leroy, I am going to pull up the video. Now, before we spoke to this gentleman, he had 28 subscribers and 120 views on his video. Since we featured this story and have become a major thorn in their side, he now has over 6,000 views and 600 subscribers. That's the power of you, the people, in this community. Let's go take a look at this video and show you what happens when you decide you want to film law enforcement. This is Cop Watch.
And also, everyone, the more that we laser focus and come together as a unit, as a group with a mission and a purpose, the more powerful we are with our leverage to actually bring about change. Because when you have one person complaining or trying to get something changed, they just miss it. You got 100, you got 1,000, you got 10,000, 100,000 of us. They can't ignore it, and change will occur.
All right, I'm gonna check on these 2 cops up here, see what they're doing. They've been sitting up here for a while. They're just talking. They ain't working. I'm gonna check on these guys, see what's up. See what they got going on here. Yeah, they ain't working. They just talking. Okay, this is unit 250. All right. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, they're just talking. They ain't working. I don't answer questions. I don't answer questions. Nope. I don't answer questions. Name and badge number. Name and badge number. Name and badge number, sir. Name and badge number. I'm not required to ID. Name and badge number. Oh. Thank you for the call. Can you speak it verbally for the camera?
I need your driver's license.
I need your name and badge number verbally for the camera.
It's on the camera.
Name.
My business card.
I need it for the camera. Name and badge number.
What?
I'm getting out of here. I gotta go home and drink some beer, guys. Okay, this is harassment. For what? What am I being detained for? Articulate it for me. For what?
Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back.
What am I being arrested for? What am I being detained for?
I've just been released from the Grand Parish Detention Center on completely fabricated charges. These charges are aggravated destruction of a highway, occurrence, that's a felony, carries 15 years in prison, along with several misdemeanors, flight from an officer, obstruction of public passages, resisting an officer. All these charges are fabricated. They're fabricated on me by the Grand Parish Sheriff's Office for exercising my constitutional rights, for recording them in public. Right now, in my hand, I have a Section 1983 civil rights lawsuit that I will be filing shortly. I am not requesting any cop watchers or auditors to please come to my assistance in this area. I'm the only one out here, and I need your help.
That part gets me every time. I'm the only one out here, and I need your help. So, I mean, what's the best way to do this? He's the only one out there, and he needs your help. And Leroy Truth from Leroy Truth Investigations and myself, we struggle to find a way where we could actually help him right here, right now. I just wish there was a way. Oh shit, there is a way. Because after we featured this video, it went viral for him. The Sheriff's Department has shut down any ability to post on their page unless you've been following them for 72 hours or longer. Okay, these guys are that bad. So this guy wants our help. So let's help him right now. Truth Be Told Audits is originally from Texas. A good friend of mine lives out in Louisiana. This is the second time we've done this where our reach is so wide that we contacted someone that lives in the area that this guy lives in to go audit for us and to go audit with us. For us, I mean the people, right? So right now, he is live. As you can see, I'm subscribed. Truth Be Told Audits. This is his channel. The mods can start spamming the link for the chat. This is what his channel looks like. Make sure you subscribe. And then you'll click on Grant Parish Sheriff's Office Audit. Right now, they just left the Sheriff's Office, and they're on the way to the Crayola Police Department, where the other officer was from. So we'll try and get some updates for you as far as Joey Surreal goes, but I'd like everyone to head over right now. You can leave here. Let's storm the chat over there. Tell them AFA Raid, AFA sent you, because momentarily they're going to be at the police department to get a copy of the body cam and to figure out and expose just how bad these guys are. So mods, if, like I said, if you could please spam the link in the chat, what I will do is I'll pin it for a second for you guys to get on over there. Truth Be Told, let's replace pin message. All right, so pinned to the top of the chat, if you look right now, is the link to get over there. So let's everyone get over there to Truth Be Told's chat right now. He's about to hit this PD, and we need it. The guy said he wanted our help. He said he wanted you, the people's help. He said he needed our help. So Leroy Truth and I have offered our help, as Truth Be Told has, as Michelle's Mobile Media has. You wanted help, he got it. This is how this community works.
It's about to hit the house.
So Brooklyn, of course. If you ever got arrested, you're part of the AFA family. You're part of this community. We'll do this for anybody. You know, we're willing to use the extension in our reach to make sure that we get some accountability for these guys. Leroy, any parting words?
Yeah, last thing is, as you see just this gentleman here, how he's being harassed, assaulted, kidnapped, thrown into a cage for nothing. He did nothing wrong. And no one in government, not a single person, stands up and says, this is wrong, and I'm going to hold every person accountable who's responsible for this. It doesn't happen, because it doesn't stop at the police. We got to go higher. Every public official higher than that, they're culpable in this. They're responsible for this. And they're the ones who can actually change it. So they're not going to do the right thing. Josh, myself, each of you freedom fighters and supporters of human rights will force them to do the right thing.
Go through, we should be good.
Third Coast Cop Watch is in the chat. And I spoke to this guy, and like he was just moved. You know, he doesn't have a lot of money. He's from, you know, not an affluent area. And, you know, he put himself at risk. And he was gang stalked, and he was arrested, and he was stolen from his property, and he had his car taken. And, like, you know, police have this large reach of resources, right? They have body cams, they have tack gear, they have, you know, weaponry beyond our capabilities. And that leaves people like Third Coast Cop Watch having to fight for themselves.
I noticed that before.
There's a thin blue line. There's a thick We the People.
He definitely gets threaded.
And it's got blue in it, but it's got red and white in between.
Well,
every single
we have.
time.
We have a thick blue line, and we have a thicker red, white, and blue line. And that's who we are, we the people.
And you know what? Inmates are always going to run the asylum. Remember, folks, there's much more of us than there are of them. And don't ever forget, those who would sacrifice essential liberty for temporary security deserve neither
Need,
liberty nor security. It's your duty as an American to make sure that we help each other out. That's what separates us from them. That blue line, that blue wall will crumble. Ours will never even be permeated. He's been Leroy Truth. I've been AFA. Make sure you head on over to Truth Be Told. Someone just put in a super chat. Make sure you give them some. It's an AFA raid on Truth Be Told audits. Let's see what happens at the Crayola Police Department. And don't forget that that's the reason I stopped you today.
Thanks, AFA. Ryan Hall still not live. Bows up to 350 people. I guess if he's not getting too big of a crowd, they don't really do anything to him. Yeah, Long Island United, I guess he got arrested some time back by NYPD. He did a premiere last night on it. I'm actually kind of interested in it because I want to see what he said or did for that to happen. And I may be calling it. So we're gonna watch this.
NYPD's 61st precinct in Brooklyn, New York.
First, same one that did.
They took my freedom. They took my property. Let's get into it. All right, guys.
Oh yeah, for sure.
What's up, guys? Long Island Audit here. Back again with another video. I'm getting extremely tired of doing these lives and, you know, having to sit in a cell for 6 hours. I was arrested yesterday by the NYPD. I was arrested yesterday by the NYPD at the 61st precinct, as I just said. I basically went there to exercise my rights like I normally do, right, across the country. So I said, you know what, the NYPD's in my backyard. I've seen and I've heard rumblings of some people having some issues over there, but it's always been in my mind for months to go to the NYPD and really exercise our rights and do a good audit on them. So I went to the 61st precinct in Brooklyn because I've heard a lot about that specific precinct. There's a lot of bad Google reviews that they're not accepting complaints against officers or even regular complaints against other citizens. They'll laugh at you. They'll treat you horribly wrong. You know, it's really a mess over there. So I walked into the precinct. My objective was to exercise my First Amendment right of freedom of press, gather some content, as well as document the process of filing a formal complaint against an officer.
Yeah.
How would I be treated as I'm filing a formal complaint against an officer? Makes sense, right? For transparency and accountability, because if you're filing a complaint against an officer, wouldn't you want to record that interaction? Wouldn't that make sense to record that interaction? Obviously, you're complaining, you're issuing a complaint against another officer, so you'd want to document that process for transparency and for
I think he is too.
Purposes, right? They could be retaliating against you. So I didn't think it was that big of a deal. I walk in, I was confronted by a sergeant.
He wouldn't admit
his name here on the
Yankee
appearance ticket I received, Sergeant Korchemet. He says you cannot record in the police office, in the police lobby, period. Turn off your camera now. I politely, you guys know, I politely told Sergeant Korchemet that I was not going to stop recording. I wanted to file a complaint against an officer, and I wanted to document that process and exercise my rights. He told me that it was NYPD's policy not to record inside of the lobby. I told him policy does not trump the United States Constitution or we the people's rights. And he went back inside. I thought maybe one for we the people. Maybe we won here today. He went back inside and brought out one of the biggest tyrants I've ever met, Giovanni Kakuza, right down here, the arresting officer. He immediately became very aggressive, 0 to 100, no de-escalation technique whatsoever. Immediately told me to stop recording. And if I didn't stop recording, I was going to be subject to arrest. So I said, I'm not going to stop recording. This is for transparency. This is my right. This is our right. Where is the disconnect that we, the people, can't go inside of our building in a lobby? I can understand there's restricted, interview rooms and things of that nature, evidence rooms. A police officer lobby wait till you see the video. It's so small anyway. What's the big deal? They've admitted to me that there was nothing, sensitive information. They said, you can't record. That's it. The sergeant said, immediately, when I tell you 0 to 100 really quick, within minutes, I was placed in handcuffs put on so tight cutting off circulation. I'm telling the officer, Kakuza, hey man, loosen the cuffs. What's wrong with you? That's the thing, right? That's the disconnect. Is
Those
that
court hearings are
he
the
says
best.
he was just doing his job. Your job is to not put on the cuffs so tight that it cuts off my circulation. You were being a tyrant. That's what you were doing, Officer Kakuza. You were being a tyrant. My hands were turning blue. I could feel the blood rushing, just stuck in my hand. That's how tight. Never before. I've been arrested a few times doing activism like this. Never before has anyone put the cuffs on as tight as Officer Giovanni Kakuza. Never once. And he laughed about it. He thought it was funny. He thought, he thought the whole situation was funny. I wasn't some hardened criminal or, a murderer or anything like that. He just wanted to do that because it gave him power over me, right? He just wanted to put those cuffs on so tight and then not even loosen them. Not even loosen them. Another officer had to come and loosen them for me. Ridiculous. Immediately placed under arrest, ladies and gentlemen. Immediately. Phone, camera, GoPro, all my property taken from me. I was placed in a cell. I was in that cell for 6 hours. 6 hours. 6 long hours for a criminal trespassing charge. Again, retaliation. But I'll explain a little bit more detail. Let's go over this desk appearance sticking in front of me right here. So it says you are hereby summoned to appear in the criminal court of the city of New York to answer a criminal charge. You should you fail to appear for the offense charged below, in addition to a warrant being issued for your arrest, you may be charged with an additional violation of penal law, which upon conviction may subject you to a fine, imprisonment, or both. So first of all, to the district attorney, New York City Police Department, I don't run. So I will be there on April 23rd, 2023 at 9 a.m. You can count on that. We, the people, don't run in the face of tyranny. We will be there. We face it head on. So I have to be there. I have to bring a ID. I had to sign right here. As you can see, this happened on April 3rd. So 20 days later is my court date. It's in the county of Brooklyn.
23rd?
The part DAT. Right here, raised
23rd, that's a Sunday.
Refused. They wanted all my information, like cell phone number, home number. No, I'm not giving you any of that. So here we go. We have the command right here. Kakuza Giovanni is the officer that arrested me, the tyrant officer.
Oh, that would be cool.
The command of Sergeant Korchemet Tosaris, right? I believe Tosaris is his first name. I want to make sure he's right. I tried to explain to them, and here, right here, is just the invoice. Before I even talk about that. So as I'm sitting in the cell for 6 hours, they must have figured out who I was, right? Ladies and gentlemen, they figured it out. They must have Googled me. I don't know what they did, but they figured out who I was pretty quickly. And it went from them treating me like utter and complete garbage to the sergeant and Officer Kakuza coming inside the holding cell without body cameras, mind you, saying, hey, why did we have to go down this path, man? Why'd you have to do this? Why'd you have to get arrested? You're not going to change any policy here. What are you trying to do? It didn't have to go like this. I don't want to have to arrest you. Trying to play like the good cop and the good sergeant now after you just placed the handcuffs on so tight, cut off my circulation, and took my freedom away from me for 6 hours. They're trying to like, hey, make buddy talk. I didn't want to talk to them. I said, hey, listen, I'm exercising my Fifth Amendment right. I don't want to talk anymore. You guys messed up. This is our policy. This is what they said, ladies and gentlemen, law enforcement officers. This is our policy here. You were arrested because you broke our policy. That's what they said. And then eventually I was, as you could see here, I was charged with offense charged is PL 140.05. That's a criminal trespassing, excuse me. So, but they were like, oh, it didn't have to go this way. It didn't have to be this way. Didn't have to all happen. Now they're being all nice to me because they know that the power of we the people united are strong. I sat in that cell. Officers were passing by and everything. And why do you look so happy? I'm happy because I get to create change. You violated my rights and we the people are going to be united. They don't understand. I sit in there not alone. I sit in there knowing that all 400,000 of you, 400 plus thousand across all social media platforms, and in here right now, 5,000 of you have my back. I know that.
I was eating Italian
dinner.
That
we together will affect change, just like we did in Berwyn, just like we did in Connecticut, where we held them accountable, just like we did in Maryland, just like we did everywhere. that we go, we're fighting for change. And that's what I'm going to fight for here in the NYPD. I'm going to go to each borough, Queens, Brooklyn, the Bronx, Staten Island, Manhattan. I'll go to each and every borough, and I will go to each and every precinct in each one of those boroughs. And we will fight. We will fight the legal way. Let me make that clear. The legal way is for our rights. We need to have transparency.
There's a song to go with that.
We need to have accountability. And when they let me go 6 hours later for a desk appearance ticket, this is all they gave me is a desk appearance ticket, 6 hours in a holding cell, ladies and gentlemen. There was no bathroom in there or anything. I had to ask them to take me to the bathroom and everything. Horrible. And I'm not saying that's a complaint. I'm saying that I know what I do, right? I do this for each and every one of you. I know what I do, and I do it for the people. And I do it to affect change and to hold tyrants like Officer Kakuza accountable and the sergeant. I know that these are the consequences of what I do. There's no complaining here. You know, I'm excited to be able to affect change. I will fight this all the way. We will go to trial. We will do whatever we need to do. I'm going to hire attorneys. I will do whatever it takes, just like I did in Danbury, just like I did in Berwyn, just like I did in the other part of Connecticut.
I've played that before.
Everywhere I've gone, I fought it to the end. And I promise you, I will do that in this case as well. NYPD has been running rampant, and we're going to watch a video to show that. The reason why I'm not showing you the video, I'll get to that right now. The reason why you're not seeing the video, ladies and gentlemen, is because the NYPD, for a simple criminal trespassing charge, decided to confiscate my camera as well as my GoPro. So as you can see here, they have my cell phone that I was recording with, and they also have my GoPro camera over here. I had
come up missing.
They released me. They said, "Here you go, Mr. Reyes. Have a nice day. Here's the rest of your stuff that you had on you. Have a great day." After we took out your shoelaces, we made you cut your hoodie and your pants and everything else, and we got marks on your wrists and everything, and degraded you and cursed at you. So unprofessional. The NYPD are a bunch of thugs. That's what they are. That's what they are. So as they're releasing me, I said, "Hey, where's my property? Where's my camera and my other cell phone?" And they said, "Well, we're taking that as evidence. Have a nice day." And they leave. They leave me in the lobby where I started. And can you believe that they just thought that was going to end like that? They gave me this paper up here, this desk appearance ticket, and said, "We're taking it as evidence." Excuse me, I would like a receipt for my property that you're stealing from me. You stole my freedom, right? You stole my liberty. You're stealing my property now. I don't care what you talk about evidence. There's no evidence of a trespass on my camera. They do that out of spite. Let's be real, ladies and gentlemen. They do that out of spite, okay? It has nothing to do with taking it for evidentiary purposes. They have a camera in the lobby. They have body cameras on. Let's be real. They do it to try and hurt me. So that's to try and prevent me from showing you the video.
But they messaged you.
I was going to live stream for people who were going to ask that question, but the service wasn't that good and it wasn't working, so I decided to just go in there, static recording on 2 devices. Probably should have waited so I can get the live streaming working. But anyway, they finally came out and they said, "Oh, you don't need a receipt." What? Yes, I do. This is the NYPD here. And they gave me a receipt for both of my, that's what you see here. Again, and the desk appearance ticket. Completely insane. Please, let's take a break really quick. I'm about to show you something else really quick over here. This news article. Take a break and just hit the like button, please. Hit the like button, comment down below on this video, and share this video. I really appreciate it. I see all the super chats over here from DNR Moto. Make them accountable, Sean. This tyranny needs to end. I promise you I will, my friend. I promise you. Michael Robertson, we are here with you. I appreciate you. Scalzo Photo. NYPD logic fail. We can secretly record within cameras in the NYPD lobby legally, but openly recording is an arrest. Makes zero sense. I agree with you, my friend. Janet, accountability for sure.
He just talks.
Oak
So he has
Winter,
nothing to show
England
us.
is with me. Thank you. I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
he got arrested illegally.
And Mercedes, thank you. I appreciate you. Eddie Penna, thank you. I will. I promise you. Thank you all for the super chats. Thank you all for, the donations, everything that you do. All I ask, though, is that you hit the like button on this video. That's all I ask, so that way the world can see this. I'm trying to get a hold of Mayor Eric Adams. He's the one in charge of New York City, right? So we need to get a hold of him as a people to be able to hold him accountable.
Turmoil. April 4th, with the recent arrest of former President Donald J. Trump, America has been thrust into unprecedented turmoil. April 4th, 2023 is a day that will go down in the history books. So why not make sure you remember this moment the right way with your very own Donald J. Trump 2023 arrest commemorative gold coin?
This commemorative coin is plated with 18-karat gold to provide you with the opulence and grandeur that only a Trump commemorative coin could provide.
Whether you hate Donald J. Trump with every fiber in your being, or you think this is the greatest miscarriage in United States history, this coin is for you.
And with the price of gold shooting up due to Joe Biden's inflation, for those of you celebrating, or Vladimir Putin's inflations, for those of you commemorating this dark day, get your coin now before they're sold out.
If there's a crisis, there's an opportunity, and if that was a real product, people would actually buy it. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. My name's Zukradowski here of wearechange.org, and we have a plethora of absolutely crazy news to get into, as of course it looks like the situation in the United States is getting worse and worse by the day, as of course street violence, crime, and the de-dollarization is continuing. All of this is we are distracted by the latest political nonsense and bullcrap that is an orchestrated escalation of the larger divide and conquer agenda. We're going to be talking about that, plus a lot more, all here on this independent media broadcast. If you like the shirt that I'm wearing describing our dystopia, you could get it on thebestpoliticalshirts.com. And the clip that we played in the beginning of this broadcast is done by the extremely talented Danny Polishuk. We will be linking the link to the full video down in the description below and his YouTube channel. And if you haven't subscribed to him yet, what are you waiting for? He absolutely does provide really incredible work that I think is worth following and supporting. And we definitely need more comedians in this space, as the times that we're living in are very tumultuous, are very crazy. But hey, at least we get a chance to still laugh. At least laughing is not illegal yet. That's why we even made 2 shirts dedicated to this crazy moment in history. And at least we still have funny satirical videos that are allowed to be online, and the memes and real life trolling that now happens on Twitter, where the logo was just changed to the Doge dog. The New York Times lost their verification symbol, and NPR has just been labeled U.S. state-affiliated media. And it is absolutely correct, as they are absolutely more of a propaganda PR for the ruling establishment party rather than an actual, quote, news organization. This quote, news organization had a heyday yesterday with, of course, the former president of the United States being arrested, which some people are calling a distraction to some of the bigger pressing issues affecting Americans, like the Restrict Act. Many billionaires now testifying to their very cozy relationship with the Mr. Epstein. And of course, the massive de-dollarization and financial calamity coming our way, which are very pressing, very important issues that I think definitely deserve more of a conversation than the corporate media following around a jet and a car. parade. This has financially, the picture here, especially in the Western world, doesn't
Here,
look
Pete,
too
I'll be right
good,
back.
as the poverty and destruction of the middle class is becoming more and more obvious, to the point where in Los Angeles, they resorted towards blasting, quote, classical music to drive, quote, unhoused people, homeless people, from subway stations. All of this as violent crime has been dramatically going up, with district attorneys that many times excuse it, allow it, or turn a blind eye to it. This, as just yesterday, the Cash App founder Bob Lee was mugged, stabbed, and killed while walking in San Francisco, a city which Elon Musk has been documenting and talking about the deteriorating conditions in, as he is describing how he knows many people who were, quote, severely assaulted, and how, quote, violent crime in San Francisco is horrific, and even if attackers are caught, they are, quote, released immediately. And I think it's fair to say that we could definitely expect more crime to go up in the United States, as of course poverty is also going up. And that's definitely going to be made that much worse with the larger de-dollarization that is happening all around the world. The Malaysian Prime Minister just announced that there's no reason to continue depending on the US dollar. Japan just started to buy Russian oil. This, as many OPEC and non-OPEC oil producing countries have just announced restrictions on oil production, which of course will also bring prices to go up dramatically. And India has decided to use the rupee rather than the dollar when it comes to their international trade, as more and more the US financial system is dependent on woke green energy and policies that are absolutely destroying any possibility of prosperity while only enriching the select few, to the point where even Jamie Dimon, the head guy at JP Morgan, came out with a proposal talking about how governments need to seize property in order to build wind and solar farms in the world in order to meet net zero targets. And with these larger kind of totalitarian financial proposals, as the US Federal Reserve just prints money out of thin air, as the big banksters live more lavishly than ever, holy freaking cow, do I think we're headed towards some very troubling times, to say the least, especially with all the de-dollarization. We're going to be talking about that, plus a lot more, all later on today on LukeUnfiltered.com, our own members area, where you get now 3 memberships offers to sign up, all giving you exclusive perks, exclusive offers, 3 masterclasses, an exclusive members only store, and in real life meetups that will be happening in Austin, Texas next week, and following that in Miami, Florida. I will see members of Luke Uncensored there. Only members will be able to join. I think we're also probably going to be doing a group meditation session. Lots of really cool things happening. And if you want to be a part of that, plus a lot more, sign up right now to LukeUnfiltered.com, and I will see you there right after this broadcast. As of course, we're going to be doing another very important video about some very big drastic changes coming to Canada, as well as some very interesting testimony by Jamie Dimon and JP Morgan and Chase that we can't talk about here on this broadcast. Yeah, lots of crazy stuff that we're not allowed to talk about. We're going to be talking about that, plus a lot more. You get a video almost every single day, an uncensored, unfiltered video targeted towards getting you the right amount of information in order to help you and guide you through all the chaos on LukeUnfiltered.com. We have a lot of members. We have a forum. We have a way of communicating with each other, learning from each other, all of that available to you with just one click of the button right here. Click it right now, and I will see you there right after this broadcast with a brand new video. As of course, it is important to note here that, in fact, Donald Trump yesterday, during his announcement at Mar-a-Lago, did actually address one of the bigger pressing issues that we were just talking about, and that is specifically the de-dollarization, the dollar being decoupled, with the former president of the United States warning during his speech yesterday that the U.S. currency is, quote, crashing, and, quote, will no longer be the world's standard. Now, with that come, of course, grave ramification, huge global shifts and changes. And while one political party that prosecutes their political opponents tells you the economy's fine, it's doing better than ever, the economy is booming and growing, I think it's fair to say that the opposite of that is true, as many Americans are getting a wake-up call to the reality of the situation, which is very drastic and will definitely change the way that people live in this world. And I think these comments by the former president of the United States are important, are worth paying attention to, and are worth having a bigger discussion on, as of course he's also being prosecuted in New York State to what looks like an absolutely flimsy case that absolutely has no merit in it and has even expired due to the statute of limitations. questions, as of course this topic mainly dominated the speech that the former president of the United States made last night to his fan base in Florida, as of course he's indicted on 34 felony counts and is facing 136 years in
The bougie are gonna
prison
be affected.
for what people call sham charges. Now, will
The
the former
bourgeoisie.
president of the United States go to jail for 136 years? Well, I think it's fair to say that in New York City, there's not a lot of people who like the former president of the United States. The judge has ties to Kamala Harris. The jury that will be selected will probably be overwhelmingly Democratic or woke. And with those kind of odds, hey, you never know, especially with the way things are going politically in the United States, that there is a chance that, yes, the former president of the United States could be jailed, could be found guilty, and could be sentenced for 136 years for an accounting error that, of course, the district attorney is counting 34 times. This was based on one specific incident that is being counted 34 times. This as the district attorney there that has been financed by a billionaire that has bought many district attorneys that push his woke doctrine, came out and said that all people need to be treated equally under the law and that, quote, we cannot and will not normalize serious criminal conduct. As of course, the former president of the United States conducted a clerical error, an accounting error, a misdemeanor, which was brought up to a
Most small
felony,
savings
counted
isn't
34
$10
times by an attorney general
anymore.
that, by the way, reduced 52% of all felony charges to misdemeanors. So for him to add a misdemeanor and change it to a felony is extremely rare and the opposite of exactly what he does, as many people accuse him of being extremely soft on crime and very hard on people who defend themselves against the criminals that have been running free under his reign. This is also, according to Fox News, we're finding out today that his chief prosecutor has been bragging about giving out jail out of free cards to violent felons, to murderers, all in the name of, quote, racial equity, specifically diverting violent, crazy individuals from incarceration and to the streets of New York City, where a lot of them commit horrible crimes and they're released immediately. Now, we had some very interesting comments, even from big critics of the former president of the United States, including Justin Amash, libertarian member of Congress, who came out and said, quote, after reading the district attorney's Bragg's indictment of Trump and accompanying statements of fact, I'm stunned any prosecutor would move forward with this. It's even flimsier than we were led to believe. 34 stacked counts, bootstrapped to an unstated crime to manufacture felony charges. This, as even the president of El Salvador, that, by the way, is being sanctioned by the current regime right now for being tough on crime, came out and said, think what you want about former President Trump and the reasons he's being indicted, but just imagine if this happened in any other country where a government arrested the main opposition candidate.
Any of y'all ever eaten pretzel burnt ends? That was pretty good.
The United States' ability to use democracy as a foreign policy is gone. And it will probably be gone like the US petrodollar, as even Elon Musk came out and tweeted this image showing a picture of Donald Trump in the 1980s with the caption, why do time travelers keep trying to kill me? I'm just a realtor. Adding a specific comment, quote, if the Democratic Party had a time machine. And let's be honest here, with the corporate media and many politicians making him the boogeyman, making him infamous, making him more powerful than ever, you kind of got to start realizing that he might be the end-all be-all for them, and that this larger insane political cycle that we're involved in might potentially never end. But who knows? What do you think is going to happen? Who do you think is going to be president of the United States in 2024? Let me know down in the comment section below. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys actively watching and sharing these videos, and this is why I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on WeAreChange.org. One more video coming your way right now on LukeUnfiltered.com. See you there.
Oh, that was a quick one. 2 minutes. Let's see what else there is. Go to bow for a minute.
It would be interesting to see if he did birdie the first 3 or 4 holes. What would he do after that? But I don't think he's going to birdie the second after birdie the first. But
how many's he got in his stream now?
Here, one of the top 3 players with Scheffler and John Rahm.
I can't believe he's still up. I think because this isn't the main event, they don't really care that much.
This is Taylor Moore on the 7th hole.
Not like he's taking away from
Kevin
anybody
Nodge
else.
just be Vietnamese just for today, man.
Uphill today, playing 108 yards. Lots of holes in one here over the years.
We got one coming.
All right. Emma's favorite.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the recording. Hope you're having an absolutely wonderful day. If you're a YouTube creator, I'm about to give you yet another reason why to consider watching your content on another platform. Or if you're a viewer and you think, boy, it's not awesome the way that YouTube takes advantage of their content creators, then this new update
Depends
as
on-
of
I mean,
April of 2023
is it your
is
employer?
clearly set in a sinister/panic type update, at least in my opinion, to stop YouTube content creators from doing several things. One, promoting alt tech or new tech, places like Rumble, BitChute, or Odyssey. It's also set to stop content creators from being able to link out to other revenue opportunities for themselves. Now, the policy itself is written in a way that if you just follow the rules, you'll be okay. Except that's literally never been how YouTube works, and it's extraordinarily frustrating as a creator. Now, over the years, YouTube has had various policies that actually do make sense, even though on the surface, they don't seem the best. In this particular case, over the years, back in 2017, 2018, there was a big hullabaloo about links in the description. You had to actually disguise them. So you would put, like, if I wanted to sell you coffee, for example, I would say, go to coffeebrandcoffee.com. See, it's in my video. Like, they can't block that. But if I put it in the description, they don't like that. They don't like anything that encourages people to actually leave YouTube. And to be fair, this isn't unique to YouTube. This is like literally every app. I mean,
Twitter
even
does the same thing.
Twitter, owned by Elon Musk, has similar policies where if you put a link in a tweet to, like, say, a YouTube video, it will suppress that link. It will make sure that it doesn't reach everybody because Twitter doesn't want people to leave Twitter. This makes sense, but it is anti-competition. It's not fair to the creators that are actually working to create content on your platform. But I guess
That was
you can
awesome.
always use a different platform,
Fuck
which
the
is what a lot
state.
of people
Hell yeah.
do. Now, quietly,
They had a
YouTube quietly
textable
made
number?
a new update here as of April 2023.
That's smart.
Step one, or part one, which is already annoying. External link removals. Under our existing external links policy, links that we cannot verify as safe may be removed. The policy applies to video, audio, video descriptions, comments, pinned comments, live streams, and any other YouTube product or feature. Now, I don't know if that means, I assume that means if you say a link in a video, right? So if
In the
you
description?
say coffeebrandcoffee.com, YouTube doesn't like that, they'll remove your video. If you link it in the description, they'll remove your video. Or
I have
maybe
links
just
in the
the link.
description.
I suppose you'd get some sort of strike and maybe they take the whole video down, or
But I'm not monetized either,
they
so
may
fuck
say, hey, you've got to delete this section of your video. It's difficult to know 100% sure how they're going to enforce this. In my experience and being a YouTuber for over 10 years, they've literally never used nuance when enforcing anything. They just give you a strike and delete the video. The second part of this says, under our existing account circumvention policy, users whose channel or account has been terminated or may not use or create any other YouTube channels to circumvent. Yes, we know this has always been the policy unless you're Keemstar. Any outstanding revenue association with these accounts will be reclaimed. By the way, that means YouTube, if they owe you money, they don't pay it to you. So if you get banned while being on their platform, they keep your money. This is something that happened with Woden's men. YouTube is holding a large sum of his money because they decided to demonetize him. And now I'm not sure if he'll ever get that. Now, if you actually look at the external links policy, it's not that, it's like very common sense. Okay. This is where it gets kind of sinister. The link policy is for the most part fine. Okay. They don't want you listing off to prawn. Okay, fine. They don't want you linking off to malware. Fine, right? Phishing apps, fine. Raise funds to recruit for Terry's, fine. Kid stuff, fine. If you want to link to something that YouTube doesn't allow you to sell, that's actually fine too. Maybe that would be like herb or something like that, where you can't sell it. Now, here's where things get murky, though. Links to content that would violate our policies if uploaded to YouTube. So if you link to, say, a video that, let's say you're discussing a video, something bad happened, and you're talking about, okay, here's the original video. YouTube does not allow that anymore. Links to links encouraging others to commit bad crimes, okay, that's fine. Links to content that spread misinformation, again, that would normally be fine, except YouTube doesn't actually know what the heck, in my experience anyway, is actual information versus what's misinformation. We saw many YouTube videos get suspended, banned, struck down with information that later turned out to be true. Okay, and then you can also not link to websites or apps misleading, deceptive content that can cause harm. Most of these reasons are actually fine by me. The problem is now with this latest update, it's going to be used exactly how you think it's going to be used. Remember how forever on Twitter, if you tried to link to, say, a BitChute video, it would say, oh, you can't link to this. It's an unsafe website.
Right.
Why? Because it's a competitor? Probably. Or if you try to link to, say, like Alex's website, Mr. Jones, link to his website, it will give you this error and say, you can't link to this. You can't link to, I think it was, I'm not sure if that's still the case, but for a while it certainly was. The other thing, how I believe this will likely be enforced is, for example, where Crowder is constantly linking people off to other platforms. Hey, go watch my stuff on Rumble. Go watch my stuff on Odyssey or BitChute. Or what we've actually seen over the past couple of years is kind of a return to the self-hosted website, right? You see a guy like Tim Pool constantly telling people to go to his website. Lotus Eaters, right? Yes, they have their YouTube, but they survive on their own website. I'm working on one that's, with a couple other YouTubers right now that'll be coming out in a couple of weeks. So YouTube doesn't want you to link away from YouTube, and they're going to use this policy to where they're going to say, well, oh, geez, I don't know. Rumble doesn't have the same terms of service we do, so we don't want you linking to it. The quartering.com doesn't have the same terms of service we do, so we're not going to let you link to that. And you're going to have to, other ways to get around it. Of course there are. You can always say,
Wife bought some,
oh, well,
some stuff.
you type
Not to
in
smoke,
the quartering,
but,
the
like
word dot, and then the
a
word
supplement or something like
com, or
that.
you
She's
just
gonna
say,
try.
you find different ways to say it, or you put it on the screen. There are always ways to kind of get around things. But this is a recent policy update that I think is a direct result of people promoting, for example, Rumble, or promoting their own websites or their own products as ways to make money. I understand some of these policy changes that Google has to do for like their own insurance reasons or their own safety reasons. They can't have YouTubers linking off to sites that, require a certain age to get into. They can't have YouTubers clicking to, the only strike I ever got on my channel in 10 years.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Was from linking to a Kotaku article that was talking about fan art of Pokemon that was like spicy in nature. I got a strike for that. So I know that YouTube is willing to strike down accounts over linking to hardware. By the way, that very same page was running Google ads on it, so someone reported that link or something and I got a strike. Now, what are we going to get strikes if we want to link to Rumble? Again, the policy for the most part is I would be in line with it. But what I'm concerned with is how it's going to be used. You can see this latest YouTube policy updates. Now, YouTube made this update to the language of the previously policy update. Your affiliate links and links to your website should be fine as long as these links are in compliance with community guidelines. Well, what if your website isn't, right? A lot of people host content that's too hot for YouTube, for example, on their actual website. And YouTube doesn't want you doing that. YouTube doesn't want you building alternatives or other ways to, like, engage your users with the content that they perhaps want. And there are people also in this thread that say, oh, the affiliate links actually aren't working. What YouTube wants is you to use their affiliate system. I had to use a pretty, if you look under my video, I don't know if you're actually seeing it or not, but it used to be, all sorts of other links. I actually set up a YouTube store so I could actually sell my coffee down below. And people buy it every day. A couple, 2-3 people buy it from down there. YouTube takes a cut of that, right? So that's what they want. They don't want you being able to say, oh, go to coffeebrandcoffee.com, promo code the quartering. They say, oh, no, we're going to sell your coffee and we're going to take a chunk of that. Don't tell people to go to Rumble where you are freer to speak about things, or we'll give you a strike. Don't tell people to go to your website where you can ask people to donate $10 a month to support you. We want that. We want people to be a YouTube member where we keep 70% or 30%. Sorry. That's what YouTube wants. They want people they want their chunk of the pie. So this is, in my opinion, just another language update that's going to make it more difficult for creators that are forced to monetize in alternative ways, or use YouTube to promote
Actually kind of like duck better.
other
Yeah, pheasant
new
is
or alt
delicious.
tech. Just another, every day
Both
YouTube
pretty
gets a
greasy.
little bit worse.
I like
I
greasy.
hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do leave a like on it. If you haven't yet, please do click subscribe down below, and we'll talk to you again real soon.
We're getting ready to shut down here. Let's see.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering, and I think we'll have a more predictable day of news today, but there's a lot to still be said
Let's see him
about
drunk
the
last night.
fallout from this kangaroo.
Come back to this. It was live last night. We'll go to the end of it. Oh, he took it down. Yeah, he was pretty bombed last night. Yeah, no, that was his live. He took it down.
Kangaroo court, this banana republic that we are currently living in, with the persecution, the political persecution of Donald Trump. Now, he has reacted to his farcical indictment very strongly and issued some very strong words, while Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is having a bit of a meltdown over people posting very public information about the judge's daughter, which very likely could make this case, could present a strong conflict of interest. But that doesn't matter. What they're doing is they're willingly lying, spinning the story to try and say that they're trying to intimidate the judge by posting this picture, which is clearly not what they're doing. Let's get into all the news. By the way, thanks everyone who checked out coffeebrandcoffee.com yesterday. We had a great day of sales. We added about 100 new customers. Absolutely thankful for you.
Grouse are good.
And
They're
thanks
like
to
little
Meta
Cornish
PCs
hens.
for helping
Yeah, we need like
support
3
the
of them.
channel. I've been working with them for years. It's the computer I'm on right now. My literal actual computer is the one I'm on right now is right here on this page. They do custom builds. They have all these that I put together with them. They have desktops, laptops, and promo code the quartering will help you save some cash. Veteran-owned company. So when you're ready for a new computer, remember Meta PCs, promo the quartering, link in the description below. Trump facing criminal charges, but calls for the defunding of the FBI. Former President Donald Trump on Wednesday called on his fellow Republicans in Congress to slash funding for the U.S. Justice Department and the FBI, going on offensive a day after pleading not guilty in New York to 34 felony counts of falsifying business records. Trump, who is seeking to regain the presidency in 2024, took aim at the federal law enforcement authorities, even though the historic criminal charges against him, the first brought against any former sitting president, were pursued by the Manhattan district attorney. Quote, Republicans in Congress should defund the DOJ and the FBI until they come to their senses, Trump wrote on his social media platform. Republicans in the past have supported robust funding for law enforcement and criticized proposals from some in the left in recent years to defund local police departments. Trump, who served as president from 2017 to 2021, backed spending increases for the Justice Department and FBI while in office. The FBI is the U.S. Domestic Intelligence and Security Agency. Well, here's the thing. What we know about the FBI is they've been awfully busy being worried about what United States citizens tweet. Perhaps defunding it makes sense. In fact, I'm not sure it is what it is that they actually do. All these three-letter agencies seem to be spending an awful lot of time worried about what Joe Sixpack is tweeting about the election, not stopping all these. How many times do we have to see a horrible event happen with one of these mentally deranged people, and then within hours, oh, they were known to the FBI. It's absolute insanity. Of course,
Oh, Bell's done too.
He lashes out. Of course, NPR puts a political spin on it, saying resorting to old tactics after arraignment hearing. It's funny how NPR, by the way, is going through massive layoffs right now. I wonder if it's almost because they are national public radio, but by and far and away are
better.
No, we didn't ask for no help.
Can I ask what you're doing?
Yeah, you can ask.
I'm asking.
That don't mean I got to tell you.
Can you keep it secret? I was just told to come find out.
If you can keep it secret,
What's the secret?
we can keep one too. What do y'all do here?
I'm Matt.
What do y'all do here?
I need to know why you're here and what you're trying to do.
Why?
Okay.
Okay, what? You didn't tell me who you was. I don't know who you are.
You can't tell who I am?
I can't. You didn't identify.
And I'm asking you
What's your name? If you don't identify, I don't want to talk to you.
Did they?
Okay, and now what's going to happen?
Did they wait to the end to do it?
I'm asking what you're doing.
I don't
we
think,
don't have to
it
tell
looks
you,
like
man.
he just stopped. I mean, doesn't
Trying to
look
be
like
nice
that
here.
One that was, because he showed the stuff afterwards and stuff.
We okay, well, do what you got to do.
Could be back up, I'm sure. That was not a hard. Oh, no, maybe not. There you go. He gone.
Calling the police. I heard that much.
Channel's still up.
Look, this little ass won't even get out of his truck. Look at this ass. Look at this. Look at this guy making her do the work while he sits in his cool, warm truck. Yeah. There we go. Well, she said she was calling the authorities. So let's see what happens. Guys. Let me show y'all smash that like button while we're waiting. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. And make sure y'all hit that bell. He's just going to sit in his truck. You can get closer. We're not going to bite.
We just have to have a barbecue.
That's all right. I can pose for you and everything. Yeah. Yeah, here doing a First Amendment audit. I am NC Tyrant Hunter. Thank you guys for watching. The security guard come out a while ago, said she was calling the authority. So now we're just waiting on them.
What can I help you guys with?
What are y'all doing there?
I can't talk about what goes on inside.
And who are you?
I'm not at liberty to
Who are
share
you to come out here and talk to me? I don't talk to strangers.
I'm the facilities manager for the
Okay, but you won't give your name. Why? You hiding something? Okay.
Do you need some contact information for someone who can speak with you about our
If we
site?
wanted that, I think we would go online and get that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're just here to observe?
Just chilling out.
All right. You don't want contact information for someone who
I
can
didn't
actually talk to
ask.
you about what's
I didn't
going
ask for
on the
none.
site?
I know how to get that.
Okay. Thank you. We'll leave you to hanging out here then.
Right on.
Have a nice day.
Just so you know, it's
I'm
just
sorry?
a story.
If you would like some information for your story, I can give you contact information for our communications manager.
She did have a good birthday, but she
I can tell you her name and give you her phone number.
wasn't feeling well today.
I can give you her contact information.
This is for
Urgent care, so she's sleeping right
For your
now.
safety. Do I look like a threat?
No, but some people you'd be surprised.
Can't hear you, man.
I said that's an expensive camera for safety.
Okay.
Hey.
We have a lot of people
Give me
approach
a
us
moment
out
and I'll
here.
give
You
you.
wouldn't believe it.
Give me a moment and I'll give you.
Hey, I want to post a training room.
You're filming me. I'm supposed to believe you that you're going to keep it private?
So we supposed to believe you or some connection to this business? How we know anything about what you do and why you come out here to mess with us? Just two journalists trying to do a story on the damn building.
What's the story about?
Well, we can't tell you that. When you look online, you'll find it. Just put the company name in. It'll pop right up.
It might be a couple weeks ago.
Or it might be today. Just depends on how asshole-ish y'all want to be. Plain and simple. So ain't security supposed to talk and, ask what's going on and secure the place? So, okay, they did. Why are you two coming out?
I'm not a bigger answer any questions.
So why are you here then? Moral support? Really? Okay. So you the muscle. No, you the muscle, right? Can you pronounce it?
No, the Nordis.
Can you pronounce
They make insulin, don't they?
Can you do it?
That expensive
Okay.
insulin.
You got a problem with doing it? You're not proud of your company? What? Is something funny? Well, you maybe. Mask don't work too good with a beard, does it?
For diabetes.
I don't work too good either. So what was you guys thinking when you drove up out here? Really? What was going through your mind? Let's see what these motherfuckers are doing. I don't want them here, right? Pretty much. No? So what was going through your mind? You mind explaining? You're absolutely right. You can be an asshole all night, all day. We'll be out here for a while.
She just gave them our description.
Yeah, so you muscle, right? Is that what you are? You the muscle?
Back up.
Yeah. You think we'll attack little ladies or some shit, man? Come on. So we're not gonna get that number?
I'd be happy to give you the number if you'll turn the cameras off.
Wow. So why?
We can do it online.
Yes, you probably can.
But that's what I'm saying. So why do that when we can look online and find out more information probably than you can tell us? I can't hear you. What are you saying? I really can't.
As an employee of Nova Nordis, I am not allowed to speak with you on camera.
You're not allowed to speak.
You understand it?
Then why did you walk out here with two guys with cameras? If you're not allowed to speak with cameras.
I have responsibility for the site. I came to figure out if you would be willing to.
Just like I asked the gentleman right here about security. They come out here. So what was different? What was different about them coming out here and y'all coming out here? Self.
Impact deployment.
They're gonna come out here and tell us information, but they can't tell us the damn number with the cameras on. But the number's online.
Hello.
How are you gonna come out here and ask us if we need any information about the company when we can get all the information we want by a click of a button?
We do.
You come out here and you don't even tell me your name, don't tell me your position. Well, I think she did
Well,
say management or some shit.
Well, you called the
come out
Monroe
here like the
office.
two security guards come out here like they was gonna do
I
anything
can give you
different.
the office in Toledo.
You don't give me your name.
Well,
a little
I'll
switch
tell you what,
in my head
you're on
that
a
says
cell
I'm not telling
phone?
you shit, and I'm not gonna be nice to you
Okay,
no
I'll
more.
just text it to you.
Didn't identify the dude.
That
Didn't
way you'll have
identify.
it.
None of them did.
You'll have a good copy of it.
None of them
and you can
identify with their
almost
name at all. So she couldn't tell us
All right.
about what they
Hey,
do
no
in there.
problem. And good luck with the
Just,
job.
kept just trying to get information, just like a cop. That's all they were doing, just trying to be just like a damn cop. Loud. Yeah, but he's gonna walk up here. Maybe not. We go another side? Come on. Got educated. They got educated. Look at there. Another free education by NC Tire Hunter. Look at that. Another free education, guys. Yeah. I can't hear you. Get a little closer. Yeah.
Sheriff's office.
Barbers?
Yes, sir.
Barber.
Yep.
I got you, babe. There you go.
Sorry.
All right.
Oh,
we got another one sneak up on us.
There you go.
Name? Name?
Sergeant Arnold. Oh, yeah.
Arnold?
Yes, sir.
Sergeant Arnold. Y'all don't have badge numbers or nothing, do you?
No, we don't have badge numbers here at Sheriff's
Yeah, I got you. I didn't think so. What's happening?
What's going on with you guys?
Beautiful day for filming.
It is.
That's it.
We went to Walmart and bought our cameras. And
Yeah. We're going to use them.
I understand, sir. So, so the reason we're out here, just because they called, I know that you spoke with, which one?
They wouldn't identify, so I don't know which one it was.
Was it female?
They were 2 security guards. I talked to one of them. She asked what we was doing. I ain't got to tell her that. Don't got to tell you guys that either. So I don't know what to tell you, man.
I understand. Yeah, and that's the only reason we're out here. Just
There's noise, and yeah.
but that's the reason why we're out here, just to talk to you guys and see why. And I explained to the female up here. I said, look, you guys are in the right of way.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
And there's not going to be any violation.
Thank you, sir.
Out here.
And
you can leave your trucks out there.
yeah, right. And we know what to do, man. You know, this ain't our first time.
Right.
Right. This ain't the last time you guys will see us.
What county is Johnson?
Johnson County. Yeah.
Johnson. But see, don't get confused with Johnson in Tennessee.
Right.
We're better than, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I'll edit that out, sir. We just, what we're looking for is to have our rights respected and not be bothered out here on the damn public property.
Right.
That's pretty much it, you know, and to teach them, right, that they can't come out here and mess with us.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. It's like, I mean, technically, it is the right of way that you're at.
Absolutely. And I got a map on my phone that shows exactly where their line's at. And we know not to cross it, right? And we never do.
And that's a good thing. Like, I appreciate that with you guys. Yeah. You know, we do have some people come out here and do a lot of First Amendment activist rights.
Right. Yeah.
Which some people don't do their investigation before they start building things like that.
Right. And then they might get on, you know, private property and then get in trouble. So you get all kinds, man. It's a learning thing. You guys learn what we do. They learn what we do, right? And not to bother nobody. If somebody's walking down this road right here, stopped and took pictures, you know, they don't need to come out here and bother them.
Because in the end, it's all about education.
That's exactly right. Exactly.
You know,
I appreciate that.
That's something we all need to be educated.
Absolutely. That's all we do.
Never stop.
I'm nice to all you. You might see some videos if you watch them. I'm mean to officers only when they disrespect me.
Right.
I'll give it right back to them, even 10 times. Right. And that's what I do. But you guys come up nice. You weren't trying to bark orders, not trying to tell us not to impede traffic and all this other crap. You know, we already heard 2,000 times, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I really appreciate your professionalism. I really do.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Look, I appreciate y'all being nice and generous.
Yeah. No, like I said, if y'all respect me, I don't hate cops. I don't. Right. If some of them do, I hate bad cops. And there's a lot of them out here. Oh my God, there's a lot. They are. And auditors too. There's some bad ones out here, just like you. Just like he said. Right. There's some bad ones out here. But thank you guys for being cordial. Yes, professional. I really appreciate that.
Have a good day.
Right on, man. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Good luck. Everybody can drive.
Right. No, we'll leave as soon as y'all leave. We'll be out. All right, man. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Really, thank you so much. I appreciate y'all.
Make sure I look good when you edit.
You're gonna look good, baby. I'll make sure of it. They upheld their oath and didn't violate their rights. That's always awesome. Always a good thing. If they nice to me, I'm nice to them. Show me respect. I'll show you respect. Again, this is NC Tire Hunter. Smash that like button. I want y'all to smash that subscribe button. Make sure you guys hit that bell to get notifications. So when I'm telling you what to do, you're not my dad. How about that? Let me finish what I was saying. You can finish when I get done.
All right, guys. Kill it. Yeah, he looks like the guy that did in Vegas. Was that Vegas? I think it was Vegas. All right, y'all. I'll probably come back on later tonight. It doesn't look like it's going to be too late. We're finally too fucking wore out. Yesterday was a wear out.
Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave. 6 feet deep under, but my body won't decay. Cause my messages are timeless, so they'll put them on display. Oh yeah, I rap with a certainty, I have a sense of urgency. A message for eternity, for everyone internally. I had some people burning me, but now they fucking learn to see I ain't the one to fuck with, now they looking nervously. And I don't really care what you think of me respectfully. You can kick rocks if you think you're fucking better, see. I will outwork you, turn you to an enemy. Hurt you so bad that you're gonna need some therapy. I got the motherfucking recipe. I've been cooking up hits, I'ma leave a legacy. You'll be looking small when you're standing right next to me. I'm 5'10", bitch, but I'm 10 feet next to me. I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yeah, I'ma do it my way. Coming out with a statement. You really changed, man, all your music and arrangement. You don't know shit, shut your mouth, you can save it. I'm the same dude that got his come up from the basement. 100 songs, 100 weeks, didn't change it. Experiments, development, intelligence, and patience. I'll do it all again, cause I never feel complacent. Let's keep the good vibes, positivity's contagious. I'm never looking back, cause I made a life that's passionate. A college graduate suppressing all his talents, yeah. He found a way to go and change, become an advocate. We're taking control of your life, go out and battle. And you think you have a dream, then act on it. Get after it, get out your head and fucking capture it. You got one life to master it. Don't give up on your future, we all start losers. We're all late bloomers, gotta start them through the sewer. What you say? Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want